Hey, let's all enjoy 40-year-old boy. People don't fear the Schmitty, 'cause he thinks it's the end of the world. We can be like he is. Come on, Joker, don't fear the Schmitty. Baby, sell your stuff, don't fear the Schmitty. Hey, let's dig a hole, don't fear the Schmitty. Maybe he's the man. La, 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 la. La, 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 la.
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast. I will warn you now, folks. I will warn you right now, right at the top of this goddamn show, there will be noise. Background noise fluttering in the background because there's a fan on in my house right now, folks, because it is, right now, I'm going to tell you, I don't know, I can't say exactly for sure sitting at a desk with the windows closed, but I'm going to, hold on, let me lick my finger, put it in the air, feel the cold wind blowing. It's probably about 87 degrees right now in Los Angeles. On its way to a high of 97 degrees here where I live, and that's fucking hot. I'm not gonna lie to you, folks. And it's snuck up on me. Like I didn't see it coming. I knew it 2 days ago, but then it's that thing where you're like, well, maybe it won't happen. No, it happened. The sun got closer. Everybody's hot and warm. And so on my bed, I've got flannel sheets right now because it was a week ago, it was 60. So I threw some flannel sheets on so I could be roasty toasty in the middle of the fucking night. You know, I throw on, because that's what I got a flannel sheet that I'm laying on. And I got a flannel top sheet, and then I got a furry blanket, and then I got a down comforter on top of that, and I just roll up in a burrito, and it's fucking glorious. I love sleeping all wombated up. Wombated? Is that what wombats do? Kangaroo, I guess, in a pouch. I don't know. You know why? Because I was going to say roasty again, because roasty toasties in my head. I'm like, what the fuck have I ever said roasty toasty in my life? And then I was going to say roasty toasty like twice in 90 seconds now. I've said it 3 times, maybe. I don't know. I can't do the math. But the flannel sheets are on my bed. So last night, it got hot last night. Let me check that. It got hot Wednesday night. Because I'm recording this Friday morning and I have not been to bed yet. So, you know why? Because again, to quote our good friend James Hetfield, nothing else matters. Nothing matters anymore. Do what you want. Stay up. But my body keeps giving out too, because I'll stay up. I'm like, all right, man, I ain't got to go to sleep, right? That's fine. And it's not like I'm going to accomplish anything in the middle of the fucking night. Try to answer some texts. I answer some emails. I answer some Facebook messages, things like that. But I mean, there's so many other things I have to do, and I will. I promise I will. But yet, in the middle of the night, it's that thing where you're just like, sigh. And then you're like, you should go to bed. And I've done this. I actually hit a wall at like 2:33. Not tired, but literally with that thing where all the superfluous shit that I do is done. I can't. There's no more website stuff I can read. I can't read anymore because here's the dumb thing that I'm doing, and it's just so fucking stupid. You know what I'm still reading? Brace yourselves, and you can guess it probably. I'm still reading hockey news. I'm still reading the NBA. Because I have a bunch of websites that I go to and I read. So I'm reading all this stuff about hockey. The other night I did this, swear to God. A guy wrote a column about what is the best hockey lineup you can put together for individual birthdays. So like April 6th, the 3 wingers, 2 defensemen, and a goalie who were all born April 6th. And he went through, he didn't do it for every single day of the year because you can't. But he did probably like 20 dates. And then he had some honorable mention dates and stuff. So because I'm a fucking dope, I saw that and I'm like, haha, challenge accepted. So what I did was I then started to think of guys that weren't mentioned on his lists, like players that I can then back engineer by finding their birthday. And then you can go to hockeyreference.com and you can pull up by birthday who was born on that day. So I immediately thought of Mike Bossy of the Islanders. I went to look for him, and there's a great team that can be fielded on Mike Bossy's birthday, but a guy beat me to it in the comments. So I was like, God damn it. But then I thought of Bernie Federko of the St. Louis Blues, and I'm like, well, I can go, and I re-engineered him, and I wound up with a great team there. Thought of Tony Esposito of the Blackhawks. I re-engineered that. And all I'm doing is posting them in the comments section. I posted like 3 or 4, but I spent 2.5 hours researching other lineups, because that's the thing. I only came up with 3 or 4, but then I'm researching other lineups and going, oh, this day doesn't work. And I'd think of players and go, and because I thought of Clark Gillies immediately because he's my favorite player of all time, but there's no goalies born on fucking Clark's birthday. I think actually his lineup was barren. There was like nobody good there. But my mind always goes to the 80s Islanders. So I look for Bossy, I look for Gillies, I look for Nystrom, I look for Trottier, I look for Trottier, I look for Tonelli. Basically, so I spent 3 hours doing that. 2.5, 3 hours. And then you look up and it's like 5:30 and you're like, I didn't need to do that at all. There was so much other stuff I could do. And I know this hits hard. It lands hard for all of you who have an email that you're waiting to have answered. Or a text that hasn't been returned. I understand these things. I know. And because I tell you these stories, they're like, oh, well, this is what's happening to me. And because also my body is just giving out. This happened to me. So like I said, on Tuesday or Wednesday night going into Thursday morning, like I fell asleep Tuesday night for 3 hours on the couch. And then I woke, when was it Wednesday night? It was Wednesday night. I fell asleep for 3 hours and then I woke up at like 3:45 in the morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to bed because I had to do something in the morning. I'll tell you all about that later, but I had to get up and do something on Thursday morning. I had a real reason to be out of the goddamn house. Can you believe it? It's true. So then I stayed up and I was like, all right, everything's fine. I went and I did my thing and whatever the fuck. And I'll tell you again about that later. But then I got home and then it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1:30. And then you start to hit the fucking molasses. Then you're in the fucking soup. And you're like, I should probably sleep. I can't sleep. Now it's 1:30 in the afternoon. And also it's hot outside and I'm sitting on the couch and you don't want to go to bed. Nobody wants to go to bed at 1:30 in the afternoon. I mean, you do because you hate the world and you're sad. I know those things. That lives inside me too. But I'm also trying to be the guy who's like, don't fucking give your life over to being that guy who's completely out of control. So I sat on the couch. Now I did that little thing, a little kid will do where he's all stubborn and he's like rubbing his eyes like, I don't want to go to sleep. And I'm trying to stay awake and I'm reading my phone. And then finally I did that thing where I just put my phone on my chest. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to close my eyes just for a second here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to rest my eyes like a child would. And I rested my eyes, and sure enough, I woke up then at like 7:45 p.m. So I slept 5 hours on the couch, right? And then I'm fried, So this is Wednesday. This is Wednesday. So I sleep 5 hours on the couch. Then I was going to stream, and then I didn't stream because it was too late. Because the people who join me are on the East Coast, and it's 10:30 p.m. by them. But also, what I need to recognize is they're all living without rules too. I mean, it's just fucking Lord of the Flies right now, as I've mentioned, baby. Piggy's got the conch, and we're fucking making it happen. But in my head, I'm like, I don't want to fucking bore people. I guess I'm a fucking idiot. Nobody's bored. Shut up. But in my brain, but also it's also a convenient way to go, well, I don't have to do that then because people will be bored. Like, no, I know nobody wants to watch me, so I don't have to do it. Dumb. But then, of course, because I sleep until 7:45 p.m., I'm not tired. So yesterday, Thursday, I climb into bed at like fucking 7:30 or 8. And I've been doing this thing where you sleep 3 hours, you stay up for 5, you sleep 3, and then you stay up for 4. it's just, it's Katie bar the fucking door, man. So I wind up, I actually go to bed. I go to bed and it's super hot and there's a flannel sheet. So I have no covers on. There you go. Brace yourself. It's just me naked in the breeze laying there with no covers, just getting some sleep. I'm excited. Go to bed at 7:30. Finally disengage my phone from my fucking face and put it on the table next to me with the alarm set for 1:30. I'm like, you know what? I can get 6 hours of sleep. If I get 6 hours, get up at 1:30, you're kind of making yourself have a day at that point. 1:30 is still late. Don't kid yourselves. But I've been getting up at 4. So 1:30, I was like, that's good. So my alarm goes off at 1:30, and because I keep changing the song all the time. So I was using Skid Row Monkey Business for a while, which was getting me out of bed. I told you I was using On Call by our good friends. Who the hell are the guys for On Call? Who is it? Fucking Kings of Leon. There you go. So this time I changed it to Holiday in Cambodia by the Dead Kennedys. I'm like, all right, this will get me up. Because I was also using I Can Hear the Grass Grow by Jellyfish. And, sometimes I'll pick an easy song. I had Thieves in the Temple. I was like getting up to that for a while. Because that's an easy one. You just kind of lay there like, all right, love comes quick. Love comes in a hurry. There are thieves in the temple tonight, but I'm going to get another fucking 15 minutes of sleep. Well, with the fucking Dead Kennedys, that's that like that little fucking guitar riff to open up Holiday in Cambodia. I'm like, all right, I would normally let the song play. I'd just sit there and listen to it, and then I'd sit up when the song's finished. I'm like, all right, I kind of snoozed a little through this 3.5 minute extravaganza, but now it's time to get up. Dude, the second that guitar hit, boom, I just pressed the fucking snooze on the phone. And then I don't even remember doing it. I guess I was kind of absent-mindedly doing it or whatever. Which, by the way, I don't know how the fuck you do that half asleep on an iPhone. How do I hit that orange button? I must be the king of snoozing. You know what? I'm the snooze king. I said, I'll call you. I'll tell you right now. You got a mattress king. You got the food king. I'm the goddamn food king. Food king. Food king. Food king. Well, I'm the snooze king. Snooze king. Snooze king. Snooze king. Snooze king. I can't do it right. Snooze king. Snooze king. Snooze king. Snooze king. Because I'm hitting the orange button and fucking sleeping. I'm just zoning the fuck out. And I just keep hitting it, and I'm dreaming too. And then I would hear like where they slide, because they do like a slide up as they're pulling off. It's like fucking this ominous guitar noise, and then I just boom. I kept hitting the phone. Boom. I kept hitting the phone, and finally I woke up, and I actually woke up, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I reach over and I grab the phone. Hey, guess what? 4:10 p.m. I hit the snooze for 2 hours and 40 minutes. And that's at 15-minute intervals or whatever the fuck. So you got to figure I hit the snooze, what, 12 times? 10 times? That's insanity. And so then that's yesterday. I get up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So now that's why we're here Friday, and I'm talking to you guys at 8 o'clock in the fucking morning because I didn't sleep. And then all night I streamed last night. I in my brain I was being good. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a 90-minute stream so then I can do the podcast right after. You go ahead and just, and then I wound up doing a fucking 3-hour stream instead. And then I was talked out after that for some reason. And then I'm like, all right, well, I'll get to it. And then I sat down and I read, and then the next thing you know, it's 3 a.m, and then it's 4, and then it's 4 a.m. Then I do again, this is the adventure that you hear about every fucking week. And then I'm like, oh man, I got to get to work. No shit. No kidding. You do. The fuck, man. There's people out there. They're counting on you. And that's a lie. Who's counting on a podcast? Who's counting on me? Oh, that's also bullshit. Fuck that. I can't pretend. People have written me and they said it's very important that I'm still doing shows, and that makes me very happy. Because otherwise, I'd just be like, well, fuck this. I mean, I'll go ahead, plug in a rerun in Spanish for fuck's sake if I thought nobody was listening. But truth be told, people are on board, and that makes me happy. They'll text me, they'll write me notes, and they'll reach out, and I'm very happy about that. Hey, and they'll find me, because also I will say this: I've been writing more stuff like more jokes, just stuff on Facebook or on Twitter because I'm bored, and it's that thing that I make my, I have to. I mean, I just never think to do it because, as I've said before, it's just a cacophony out there. It's just fucking people screaming back and forth. Like this morning, and look, all right, and Bray, it's going to be this until there's a pill or a shot or a lottery where we choose how to stone the victims. I don't fucking know what we're going to do. But until the world gets back to some semblance of normal, this show's going to be, you got to talk about the germ. I mean, I got to talk about the germ. It's got to be brought up. I got to talk about the HIV, man. Everybody's got it. They're going down, or they're not going down, or they're hiding in their house, or they're not hiding in their house. Down south, they've decided that Georgia and Florida will be a controlled experiment, and we'll see if we can let these rednecks out into the fucking ether, and maybe moonshine is what fights off the disease. I don't fucking know. Maybe there's, because everybody now you'll hear, because I don't even fucking know anymore. Before it was like, hey man, pets can't get it. Don't worry, your cats can't get it. And and you got to have this. You got to be your lungs or whatever. And now they're just like, hey, that guy died. They got to cut his leg off. Why'd they cut his leg off? Because there was a blood clot. Why was there a blood clot? Well, that happens with this sometimes. Holy fuck! So maybe this is like some control group to see if like the number of teeth you have affect your how susceptible you are to the virus. Yes, that was low-hanging fruit. I apologize, Florida and Georgia. You're my friends. I love you guys. Come on, I love bulldogs. I love gators. I love Seminoles. I love yellow jackets. I love all of you cats. I love Braves and Hawks and Falcons. And I used to love the Thrashers. And I love Rays and Marlins and Dolphins and Buccaneers and Jaguars and Magic and Heat, and are there more teams? The Panthers. I love Panthers. I love all you guys. I love everybody down there in Florida. Actually, I only love the sports teams. I don't care for the fan bases. I don't care for the people. But anybody on those sports teams, if your name is like Vladimir Trocheck or whatever the fuck that guy is for the Panthers, I'm on board with you, sir. If you're Sergei Bobrovsky, I'm your best fan. Because I love pro athletes in the South. That's a lie. All of this is a lie. I love the SEC. No, I don't. I don't like any of that. I don't like college sports. I mean, I watch them, but it's not like I'm like a guy who's like, yeah, woohoo. NFL draft was last night. And I'm just like, it's so weird to have liberated myself from that kind of bullshit. Because like I said, I've liberated. I just told you, I read hockey articles, for fuck's sake. Because I need to know what if the St. Louis Blues drafted Jonathan Taves before the Blackhawks did. I'm reading this article, and I need to pick out who would play on what winger's side with a birthday. And you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. We're all looking for things to do. I mean, we're all looking for ways to fill our time. And it's, I will say this too, there's that thing where, I let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. And hey, don't beat yourself up, man. This is really pressure filled time. There's a lot of stuff going on. So if you're not productive, if you just feel like sitting around with your hand down your pants, Al Bundy fucking style, bragging about your high school football days and eyeing up your daughter like you want to fucking rail the shit out of her because she's not wearing a goddamn bra, go for it, man. It's okay. It's a hard time for everybody, and that's fine. I hear that, but at the same fucking time, I'm just like, no, don't fucking. I have spent my entire life giving myself permission to fail. I don't need the world at large to do the same now, where they're just like, you can't beat yourself up, buddy. Maybe you think you're not getting stuff done, but at the same time, maybe now's not the time to get stuff done. Oh, really? I'm 52 and we're gripped in a death fucking storm. There's literally a death tornado flying all over the world. Not just here. There's in Sweden. They're fucked. How bad is that in Sweden? That means that's fucking... Aren't they the chocolate and clocks? No, that's Switzerland. Switzerland's the cheese, chocolate, and clocks. What does Sweden make? Hot chicks. Oh, man, fucking bikini team's dead. That's a fucking drag. Because if you look, but then, do you care? I care. Everybody wants the world to get back to normal. All right, we want stuff to go. I want to go to the fucking store and not have to, have an argument with somebody over, should you be wearing a mask or not? Because I'll tell you this, by the way, I have a mask. Everybody's been very nice. People have reached out to me and said, hey, do you need a mask? I've been very lucky. Beach sent me a couple of masks, actually. And then a listener named John, our buddy, John Conway, is sending me a mask. But I will say this made me a little worried because John's like, hey, man, if you need a mask, give me your P.O. box. And I go, well, fuck that. I'm not going to the post office. Send it to my house. So I gave him my home address. And then he sent me a photo and he's like, all right, I'm making a homemade envelope because I think it's safer, or for whatever reason he was sending a homemade envelope. And I have to admit, in my brain, I'm like, all right, hold on a second. This is crossed over from thoughtful gift to possible manifesto. Like, what do you... I don't need a homemade envelope, Johnny. I mean, if you want to send me the mask, that's great. And I'm not looking, gift protection in the fucking straps. I'm not. I get it. And when I see whatever, because I'll go to the mail today and hopefully it'll be there. But I don't. I don't know. I have to admit, I got a little jumpy when because Beach sent me the masks. You know what I mean? And she's like, "Oh, I sent one." She mailed me one because a friend of hers sent her one like extra, and then she also ordered me one off of a website or something. And that one's all fashionable. That one's all blue and white. Look, folks, again, as I've mentioned, I can't just be wearing some fucking stroke mask. All right, I gotta look good. I gotta have a pattern. And I will tell you this, if Beej hadn't sent that mask, I was a day away from buying a Bane mask. But the problem with the Bane mask is it's made in fucking like Estonia. Like, you know what's funny? This is totally true. I was looking for the Bane masks, and then I kept looking, and they were on Etsy, and there's some that they look really fucking cool. But then, like I said, they're literally made in the prison that Batman was put in, where Bane was. He learned how to fight in the darkness. That's the prison labor that's making the Bane masks. They're down there in the fucking hole, and fucking Bale's got to climb the fuck out of it and bring me my mask, and that's fine. I'm willing to wait. But I didn't pull the trigger on the order because again, I just in the middle of a global pandemic, I have to think. Giving credit card number and bank information to someone in Lithuania would be bottom of the list of things I need to do at this point. I don't need what little fucking savings, what little dough I've got scraped together, the money that I'm white knuckling the fuck out of so I can survive the next goddamn 8 months or 5 months or month or whatever the fuck happens. I don't think I want to give fucking Yuri and his pals some sort of free run to go through the fucking vault and run their fingers through whatever fucking dough I got there just because I wanted to look like Bane. Do you feel in charge? So I have masks, which is good, but also at the same fucking time, who the fuck knows, man? I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know what's happening with people and their bullshit, and because it has taken. This morning, all right, again, fucking dumb fuck gives a speech yesterday, and he's like, the same bullshit. He's like, hey, the Army Corps of Engineers, we're working very hard, and you're all fake news. Shut the fuck up, you fucking... Literally, he's just the fucking tires of a halal cart in a suit. I mean, he's just every gross, dirty thing about fucking New York you could possibly imagine. He's so bad. Anyway, but then he does a thing where he's like, hey, what if we, because again, he's just flailing at shit but always, what, bullshit. Not now. He's always just flailed at shit. That's the thing that surprises me, is I've talked about it before. You can't get fucking mad at him anymore because he's doing the same shit he's always fucking done. And if you are going to find yourself mad every fucking day at dumb shit that he says, you're never going to live your fucking life. The thing where, like, was it a week ago or something? He's like, I have the ultimate power. I'll tell governors what to do, and blah, blah, and everybody's like, I can't believe he said that. It's unbelievable. The next day, he's like, yeah, the governors open when they want because he's me. I've said this so long, and I wish it wasn't fucking true. He's me. He just spins shit off the top of his fucking head, and he's going to talk to fill the air until he's done, and then he's going to walk out the fucking door. The only difference is he's got no moral center. I mean, he's just a fucking idiot. And I'll tell you what, if I had a bunch of money, maybe I wouldn't have a fucking moral center. I don't know. If I was raised in that environment with that fucking dad with the weird shaped Dr. Phibes head and the fucking mom who looked like an extra from Faulty Towers with her hair spun up to fucking Jupiter. Jesus Christ. Look at those two. Didn't tell me that he didn't fucking have, all this shit happen to him in childhood. I mean, how many nannies did he fucking finger blast from behind and then have him fired because they said bad things about him? I mean, he's just he's done whatever the fuck he wanted his entire fucking life. So it's not any different now when he goes there and he sees fucking reporters in ill-fitting suits and he gets to make fun of their ties and shit because that's who he is. He's just a fucking jack. He's fucking Zapka from Karate Kid. Except he doesn't lose the fight. Imagine if Karate Kid fucking Machio's got Zapka lined up and Zapka fucks him up in that final fight. Or better yet, Zapka pays a bigger guy to beat him up like My Bodyguard style and just stands on the sideline and goes, ha ha, fuck you. And then that's the end of the movie. And you're like, oh no. And then Zapka and fucking John Kreese, they open up a chain of Cobra Kais and then they go bankrupt. They don't pay anybody. They fuck everybody. But yet they still get billions of dollars. And then Zabka's named president of the United States. And you're like, oh no, this fucking sucks. Seriously. Remember Pretty in Pink? Remember Spader's character? The girl was, is, and always will be nada. That's fucking Trump. He's every bad guy from an 80s fucking teen movie that you saw, for fuck's sake. He's just terrible. But you have to look at him like and just go, he's a fathead. He's just a fucking fathead. You can't get spun up and worried. Yesterday, he's like, hey, just not for nothing, but what if we drink bleach? You think that would fix this thing with the goddamn diseases or whatever the fuck? And they showed, again, there's that video of the fucking scarf. She's off on the side and she's just like, she got that grin, rictus painted on her fucking face, and she's staring and just going, why am I here? What's going on? I've lived a good life of public service. I've raised good children. I've purchased fantastic accessories. Look at my scarf, for fuck's sake. And now I gotta sit here and listen to this fucking empty pillowcase of a fucking man tell me that I should be UV rays. That's another good one. You got to go UV rays. He thinks so here's what he thinks. He thinks all of us should go and try to get into Limelight in Chicago in 1991 and then have the bouncer shine that thing to see if we have the stamp on our hand and that'll cure us. That's where his brain goes. Hey, what about that light the bouncers used to use on your fucking hand when you got a stamp? What do you think there, scarf? And she's just like, you got it, Trump. You said it, sir. Because that's another thing is nobody will tell him that he's a fucking clown. And they can't. I get it. Look, I understand Fauci and the scarf can't say a fucking thing to this idiot. They can't just be like, hey, because I want them to. We all want them to. All right. We all want them to just go, hey, fuckhead, you're going to get people killed. Now, you check that. You've already gotten people killed. You're going to get more people killed. Why don't you dial down on the dumb just for a day, one fucking day? Come out and pretend. Do me a favor. You think you're an actor? You've been on fucking shows. You kissed the Giuliani in drag. You're willing. You've shaved Vince McMahon's head. All right, you've done this. You've participated in some sort of sketch sometime in your life. How about this? How about you do a sketch where you're the quiet president who doesn't bother anybody for a day? And you go, I think that's a bad. And shh. Seriously, just, comb your hair and put on your bronzer and nod solemnly. Just pretend. Here's this. Pretend to be poor for a day. I know you don't know what it is. I know you don't know what it means to be poor. Pretend to just not talk. How about that? That's for you. That's poor, because you have no voice. Truly, in your opinion, the poor have no voice and should never be allowed to speak and voice their concerns. So you play a poor today and let me and the scarf run the fucking meeting, and Pence will show up and talk too. Even though you told him that, and he's just such a fucking dopey ass. Like, I saw that giant baby went around on social media this week, and I'm just like, that's fucking, again, it's Trump. You might as well be Trump. He's just an id machine, man. Just fucking rampaging back and forth and eating fucking whatever he wants. He's got fucking ketchup smeared on his head, and he doesn't give a fuck. Literally, just that dude and he's never, ever, 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 ever gonna get his comeuppance. Don't even think he will. Never. He is gonna skate on all of this. He is gonna die rich, and he's gonna die powerful, and he's gonna die thinking he's special, because that's the way it is. The only thing we can hope for is that somehow his two dopey fucking Tweedledum kids run this shit into the ground. The boys. I mean, fucking Ivanka, fuck that. Her pussy's made out of gold. She's never going to do anything fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they've locked away $2 trillion in some fucking vault that she only has the combination for. And it's literally like something like Daddy 69. You know what I mean? So it can probably be guessed, but still. But you gotta hope that fucking the two jugheads, fucking Don Jr. and fucking Eric, just like the two fucking prison guards in Monty Python. We're going in with you. We stay here and you go inside. Like they just don't get it. They're just fucking stupid. You know who they are? You know who his kids are? You got to see a movie called Trading Places, because Eddie Murphy's awesome and it's a fucking brilliant movie. It's funny from the beginning to the end. But Franken and Davis play these dopey fucking baggage handlers on the train. And they even dumb it up with the, I think this is the way it was supposed. Like, they talk stupid. And I'm like, that's Eric and Jr. That's them. That's who they would be if they weren't in the Lucky Sperm Club. You know what I mean? They'd just be a couple of dumb fuck baggage handlers who again, who they'd be? They'd be me. They'd be sharing a 1-bedroom apartment, playing PlayStation 4 and eating pizza into the fucking wee hours. And you know what? They'd probably be a lot fucking happier. They wouldn't have to be faking like they're CrossFit experts or going out and shooting fucking pangolins or whatever the fuck they're hunting these days. That's another thing too, is when they're like, everybody's like, oh man, the Chinese had a pangolin, they fucked up the whole planet. Well, how do you know that fucking Don Jr. and Eric didn't go out and shoot the wrong zebra with a fucking, like, a bad stomach? Or maybe the zebra ate a pangolin, and then when they shot it, he bled into the fucking dirt in Africa, and then mosquitoes grabbed it, and they bit a British hunter, and then he went to China, and who the fuck knows? You can't explain any of this shit. Nobody knows what's going on, man. Jesus, fuck. What an embarrassment. And also, but even worse, like, everybody... You get spun up. Yeah, and you can't get spun up anymore. Because, again, I guarantee you, like, he said yesterday about bleach. Bleach and then the fucking lights. It's my favorite thing. He didn't even say bleach. He said disinfectant. So, you know what? He didn't even fucking mean bleach. He meant, like, fantastic. How great is that? Because bleach at least you'd go, all right, well, that's a cleaning product. He gets it. But, like, this guy thinks I'm going to fucking shoot scrubbing bubbles into my fucking veins with a goddamn syringe. That's not happening. But, again, for him, because, again, he always says, what do you got to lose? You know what that really means? Hey, you poor fucks, do something. Leave me the fuck alone. I couldn't care less. So that's what he means when he says, what do you got to lose? Hey, why don't you drink this shit from the fish tank? Nah, what the fuck you got to lose? Really? Seriously, hey, you, why don't you took some Windex and, not for nothing, but you shot it with a needle into your eyeball. You think that'd be a good plan? I think so. What the fuck do you got to lose? You're dying anyway from some invisible bullshit fucking germ. You can't even go get coffee anymore. I tell you this. At least with my plan, you got a fighting chance. You shoot some scrubbing bubbles into your ass and then like steroids, and then you go out and try to get some fucking coffee. You can actually leave your house at that point. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, I'm the best, aren't I? Hey, what if you took some Ajax, that green powder stuff? I really don't know the name of it. I saw my maid had it one time, and then you mixed it up into a paste, and then you just brushed your teeth with it for a week. What would you do then? That's not bad, right? What's that stuff called? Drano? I mean, that sounds like it'll clean you the fuck out. Why don't you just guzzle that and see what happens, man? Because I'll tell you what, it might get caught in your throat and it'll fuck it up. But if it gets down into your lungs, there you go. And then it gets working on that virus. Lickety fucking split, lands a couple of shots, and hey, how you doing? I tell you what, if scrubbing bubbles doesn't work, call me. We'll flash a bright light in your eyes. We think that'll work too. If somehow, hear me out. If somehow the scrubbing bubbles that you shot into your veins doesn't clean out the virus, visit us. And I tell you this now, we will shine a bright light right in your face and watch that germ go flying. We'll interrogate you like you're in the fucking Untouchables in 1956. We'll just fucking shine a lamp in your face, and we'll have some Carl Malden motherfucker from Intelligence come and start asking you mean questions and scare the virus right out of your fucking skin. What do you say, huh? That's only if the scrubbing bubbles doesn't work. Because I don't want to fucking hear from you if the scrubbing bubbles works, unless, except for you to say, thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. That's how you ought to fucking do it. You shoot the scrubbing bubbles in and it works, you just send me a thank you. But if it doesn't, again, come on over. We shine a bright light right in your fucking eyes. Boom. Disease is gone. Thank me later, motherfuckers. Out. Drops the microphone and bails. Fauci scrambles to the microphone to go, please, 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 everybody, I'm begging you. Don't shoot scrubbing bubbles into your eyes. Please don't do it. I can't. I've been doing this job 60 years. And you know what? Don't shoot scrubbing bubbles into your eyes. That's first day shit. I got to be honest with you. That's first day shit. I've been a doctor for 60 years. The shit they teach you on the first day, it literally is in the textbooks. If you go, honestly, it's in the Hippocratic Oath. Thou shalt not do harm. Thou shalt try to help everybody. Thou shalt not steal. And thou shalt not fucking encourage anybody to shoot scrubbing bubbles into their goddamn eyes. That's millionaire shit. That's rich people shit to poor people because they think poor people are just fucking tough. You know what I mean? And not even tough, but also not even tough. They just think that they're expendable. And he thinks that. He thinks you're expendable, so he doesn't give a fuck. And that's why he says shit like, hey, what do you got to lose? You know what? You're already not me. So what the fuck? Couldn't hurt to go ahead and shoot some bullshit into your eyes and see if it works. What do you got to lose? He's like this weird combination of fucking Nathan Thurm. You ever see that Martin Short's lawyer character? It's so weird you would say that. Why would you say that? With the fucking cigarette ash? And also Erwin Mainway. That's who he is. That's who fucking Trump is. He's a combination of Nathan Thurm and Erwin Mainway. He's all defensive and like, I don't know why you would say that. I don't understand it. Maybe you spend more time doing journalism investigations and less time in court. That's fucking Nathan Thurm. Erwin Mainway was Dan Aykroyd's character who had like Halloween costumes called Johnny a bag of oily rags. And Johnny Blackout, I think, when you had to fucking wear a black suit and go trick or treating. And Jane Curtin would interview him, and she'd be like, what do you my favorite was when he was running again. I've talked about this on the show because it stayed with me since I was a kid. He ran a school lunch program, and and one of the things on the menu was ravioli stuffed with chalk. And just the word chalk makes your mouth dry the fuck out. And she even confronted him. She goes, ravioli stuffed with chalk. And he's like, hey, kids love it. You get to have lunch, and then if you got some leftover chalk, you go ahead and ran in the board. Kids, I love that kind of stuff. And when he was doing the toys, bag of glass was like one of the toys. It was a bag of shattered glass. But he still would explain to you why it was a good idea. Hey, it's kids like it, and then there was one that was just a plastic bag that kids could put on their head and just pretend like they were just suffocating. It's just, and he would always explain it as if it was a good thing. That's who fucking Trump is. Hey, what do you got? Hey, couldn't hurt if you just wanted to shoot some scrubbing bubbles in your fucking ass. What do you say? What do you got to lose? Man, that's what I said. Hey, get some ravioli stuff with chalk. You go ahead and choke that down, and maybe, hey, what's that? Febreze. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Why don't you spray some Febreze right into your eyes? Do that, and then swallow it. Actually, just take the top off and chug it. What do you got to lose? Fuck me. And then here's, and again, we all look. You're sick of it because you're sick of me talking about it. I'm sure you're sick of it. We're all sick of it. But it's what's going on in the fucking world right now, man. So I'm sorry, but he just Because then he does that. All right, he does that. But we know he's going to do that. That's the dumb shit he does. Every day now, he runs out. He does that fucking 2-hour talent show. He sings on the good shit fucking lollipop. And everybody goes, encore. And he's like, oh, don't mind if I do. Anyway, here's another story. And he just tells you some bullshit, dumb fucking thing that he did in New York. And he talks about, and again, we have very good ratings, Bachelor type ratings, the fucking Monday Night Football ratings. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, there is such a concept as hate watching shit, dude. Nobody's watching you and going, this is great. People are watching it, waiting and hoping your bronzer will run or your hair will fall off we're all rooting for somebody to just punch you in your fat fucking mush. Just somebody to land an elbow. I don't care if it's one of the chick reporters. I don't care if the scarf just strangles him. I don't give a fuck if Fauci takes his knees out. If Pence decides that, you know what, we got to lose this guy for the good of the rapture. Just somebody wheels on him or turns on him. Because look, he makes himself look stupid, but he doesn't know he looks stupid. You got to tell him he's stupid. You got to push him down. You got to yell in his face. You go, hey, stupid, what are you doing? Let me tell you something. How about if you shut the fuck up? What do you got to lose? And we all think you're a fucking stupid monkey anyway, but if you just shut the fuck up, what do you got to lose? Really, it would be one day where we didn't think you were a stupid fuck. That would be cool, right? And I know some of you like him. And because then literally the shit happens yesterday with the fucking, hey, here's a good idea. What if you put some Palmolive in your nose? I mean, it's, what the fuck? Hey, Dawn takes grease out of your way. Here's a better thing. What if you Dawn enemas for all the poor people. Line them up, put a goddamn funnel in their ass and fill them with Dawn. They'll take grease right out of their anus. What do you say? Alrighty. Just a fucking clown. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? And actually, he's not wrong anymore at this fucking point. What do we have to lose? Seriously, he's just... Everything, nothing's going back to the way it was. And even if it does, the way it wasn't actually the fucking greatest. We got to be honest. So I don't know. And then you see fucking Biden putting out that same political ad you've seen your entire fucking life where he shakes hand with a black kid. You know what I mean? And he's like, it's more about heart. It's about will. It's about coming together and getting things done. You fucking stroke. You literally are in bed with Wall Street people and you have your face buried in their asses. And you're going to not do, again, in the middle of a virus that is killing people at look, not a rapid record rate, but certainly it's doing more damage than they thought it would. Who cares? Global fucking pandemic that has come to our country. You know, when you saw people in China dying and shit, you're just like, holy shit, that sucks. Good thing that's not us. And then all of a sudden, it comes over on a slow boat and it fucks everybody up. And then you're just like, and then you don't want healthcare for all, and you also don't send anybody money. Like you send money to these Wall Street fuckheads. And I know, yes, I know. Look at your 401k. Yes, I know. We need the stock market to be good for reasons that I don't fucking know. Because again, I know one buddy of mine who's retired and his whole job is trading stocks. So I'm sure he's fine. I don't know what he's doing. I guess other friends might have portfolios. I don't fucking know. You know why? Because they have the good sense not to talk to me about it. Because the only portfolio I have is a fucking plastic binder with photos of me from when I was a child. That's my definition of portfolio. There's no stocks. There's no fucking any of that bullshit. I got nothing. No, I did for a while because I had that SoFi thing. Remember that? Remember when I tried to get you guys to help me out with that goddamn thing? I bought a weed stock and I bought stock in Boeing. Guess where both of those fucking went? They went down like a Boeing fucking jet with that faulty engine in it, for fuck's sake. And I ate it. I ate it. That's the only time I've dipped a toe into the stock market. Why didn't I do this? The only reason I did it though was because I had to in order to get the fucking deal and get the extra fucking bonus money. And do not think that I did not clean that out fucking immediately once they started to go downhill. Because I will be honest, the fucking the weed one actually bumped up. No, Boeing went up a little bit once. And I'm like, ooh, what the fuck was that? There was a noise in my kitchen. That's not a good noise. But I was like, when it went up, like the stock went up once and I was like, ooh, I see the appeal of this now. I went out and bought a monocle. I put a carnation in my fucking vest. I was like, all right, here we go. And then by the next day it plummeted. Like I'm at the bottom of the goddamn ocean staring at those fish that have that glowing lantern hanging out of their ass. You ever seen those fucking fish? The ocean's a scary fucking place, man. So yeah, man, I don't know fucking stocks. I don't know any of this bullshit, but but maybe it's good. I don't know. Again, like I said, I have friends who have stocks. Do you have stocks? Are they good for you? Good for you. I'm happy for you. I hope you got a hedge fund. I hope it's cleaning up this town and making everything you need it to make, and you're doing good and making big dough. I just think you could do a lot better than sending people $1,200 and telling them not to die. I just think that would be the fucking plan. But then he comes out, like I said, and he does those speeches where he's just like, hey, what do you think? Here's a good idea. What if you guys, and I'm going to say this again, what if you guys asked Calgon to take you away, but this time you swallowed it? Hey, what do you got to lose? Oh, man. But here's the worst part. He does all that dumb shit. And we know that's who he is. He's Captain Dumb Shit. That's what he fucking does. He's Captain Dumb Shit on the SS, what do you got to lose? And he's just driving toward an iceberg. He doesn't fucking care. Whistling like Mickey Mouse in that first fucking Steamboat Willie cartoon. Just steering back and forth. And just waiting to hit the iceberg so he can blame anybody within arm's reach. But then he gives this stupid speech of the dumb shit that you should do with your life, where he's just like, hey, you know what? You ever see that stuff they use to clean ovens? What is it, a lava brick? What if you scraped your face with that all night? Whatever the fuck. What do you got to lose? The worst part of it all is because we know he's doing this shit. You know, every day he's going to say something more stupid. And that's fine. But then he like lumbers off stage and just walks off. I'm sure, they take his coat off and he's like, how was I? Smears his orange makeup on Melania's cheek, goes upstairs with 3 remotes in his hand to watch 3 TVs at once to hear what they thought of his fucking show. Cause he thinks he's on Broadway. He literally thinks he's in the fucking The King and I. Except for him, it's the I and I. He doesn't even want to be a king. It's just the me and I. He's in the me and I. That's what he's in. And he goes up and watches the reviews and then he tweets and whatever the fuck. But here's the worst part again. Once he does that, then the fucking battle starts. Then all the fucking jagoffs who support him have to come out and go, well, what he really meant was, well, you guys, you can't take him seriously. You can't. And, hey, just because the president said it, he was speaking in generalities. And I can't believe the media is so dishonest. They would try to, like, they spin it in a way where they just gaslight the fuck out of everybody. And you're like, hey, look, I was watching it. I saw what this dumb fuck said, okay? I'm not stupid. He literally told me to dump Calgon into my mouth and swallow it. He said that they could cure this with a fucking flashlight. I mean, like, you seriously, you're not going to fucking say he didn't, but they do. And that's crazy making, because in your brain, you're just like, nah, fuck you, man. You can't get away with this. And then you sit there and you try to make sense of it and you can't. And that's bad. But just as bad, in my opinion, is the people who become outraged by this kind of shit. And they just freak out and they make memes and they yell and they shout about him and they're like, I can't believe it. Can you believe he said we should drink bleach? I can't believe the president. And then they all make their jokes. Don't speak to me this morning until I've had my Lysol. I can't believe that fucking fathead said this. And it's just this, again, the outrage industry works both ways. You got the people who are like, you don't understand. What he really meant was die. Oh, okay. And then you got the other guys who are like, and again, I literally this morning, I read 10 comedians explaining why I shouldn't drink bleach. Like 10 comedians on fucking Twitter who are just like, well, what you don't understand is it causes a physiognomic reaction. And if even one person has it, and oh my, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You probably have a fucking pocket full of GHB when you're on the road. I don't need to hear you tell me about what I should and shouldn't put in my fucking body. You ridiculous road dog headlining nonsense motherfucker. Get off my Facebook. But it happens. Drumpf is out there telling people about the bleach and then they make their fucking joke and whatever the fuck. And I mean, look, I know I'm no better. All right, I'm doing a podcast about it right now. I fucking get it. I know. But but at the same time, I can see the absurdity on all sides of it. And I'm not saying I'm the fucking island in the stream. That is what I am. No, nowhere in between. How can I be wrong? Sail away with me to another world and we'll rely on each other. From one lover to another. We lost Kenny recently. Didn't lose Dolly. Dolly's reading bedtime stories to people. Oh, how fucking hot is that? It's not supposed to be hot. I know it's not supposed to be hot, but just the fact that she's like lying in a bed. Literally, I gotta be honest. All right. if you told me that Dolly Parton was going to be reading bedtime stories on the internet, and like you could watch her and she lays in bed and she's like, and she's reading with that, because again, like I told you, she's just made out of size. She's literally just, if she ever, she's not gonna die. She's just gonna burst into a big fucking cloud of gorgeous silver winged butterflies and fly to heaven. And I got news for you. I don't even fucking believe in heaven. But when Dolly Parton leaves this mortal plane, she will go fucking create it. That's what I say. I say she's going to be like this gigantic swarm of silver-winged butterflies, and she will actually go create the kingdom of kingdoms in the heavens, and I will meet her there someday. And I will sail away with her to another world. But she's reading bedtime stories, right? Which is fine. You're like, wow, that's kind of hot, even though it's not supposed to be hot. Because, like, you know, I shouldn't want to rail somebody who's telling me goodnight moon, but I don't give a fuck. But then you go the other way, and have you seen that Tom Hardy's reading fucking bedtime stories to people? And now, you know, I was firmly in Dolly's yard, but now I got to admit I'm straddling the fence. I don't know what I do here, because he's just you've seen his arms, you've seen Tom Hardy's arms. You want him to wrap you up in some swaddling clothes and read you a nice story as you curl up and you wonder what that is poking into your back. It's probably just his knee, but also you're wondering if he likes you. I mean, that'd be kind of cool. I like a Tom Hardy and a Dolly Parton. Now, hear me out. Here's what we do. And I don't think there's much doubt about this, right? I mean, you know where I'm going with this. I don't even have to fucking say it. We go DC Marvel. We go superhero team up. We tear down that fence. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. And you get Hardy and Parton in the same bedroom. And they're reading stories to everybody and just trading pages. Oh my God, how great would that be? Superpower Summit, Wonder Twin Powers, activate, smash their rings together, shape of an amazing fuck scene. I'll tell you this, even if Dolly Parton wanted to fuck me, if Tom Hardy showed up, I'd have to go, you know what, buddy? I don't think I could do anything for her that you could. So go ahead, step up. And maybe, as much as I want to rail the fuck out of both of them, maybe I got to sit this one out and watch. Maybe just got to run off a couple of batches watching them go at it. And that's old me talking. You know, young me, forget about it. I would fuck Tom Hardy in the ass while he was on top of Dolly Parton just so I could feel like I was the one plowing her. Take that. So take that and fucking run with it. And now I'm sitting here saying that maybe I defer. Oh, why would I defer to Tom Hardy? Fuck that. He's a shrimp. Go read a story somewhere else, buddy. I'm here. I'm nestling right between Dolly's cannons, and I'm going to say goodnight to both these fucking moons. Step the fuck off, Hardy. Do you feel in charge? Everybody comes out. Everybody with the fucking speech. Hey, maybe you shouldn't drink bleach. Don't listen to the president. He didn't. Oh, now he's telling people to drink bleach. He's extraordinarily dangerous. I can't believe he would say these things. Well, how can you not believe it? This is who he is and what he's done. He's done it fucking forever. He's that fuckhead. So I got news for you. Because I will say this too. Other people are like defending it. And they're like, oh, he didn't really mean it. It was stupid that he said it, but it doesn't matter if he said it because you shouldn't take him serious because the president just talks. And then you get the other people who are like, this is the gravest situation to ever take over our country. We need to really wonder about a president who tells weak people to drink bleach. And here's what I say to everybody, okay? And I'm sure it's just a backlash over the people lecturing me this morning, but drink bleach if you want to. I don't give a fuck. Seriously, let's go with Mike without hats. You can drink bleach if you want to. You can suck it right down. You can let your throat get all burned and I won't know what to do and rhyme fuck. Honestly, I don't give a fuck if you drink bleach. I really don't. I mean, if you're my friend, call me first and we'll have a conversation about it, please. But if you in your head, if you ever heard that fucking walking pile of garlic bologna in a fucking long ass red tie with a goofy ass fucking Ocean Spray cranberry goddamn wave of hair, if he told you to do something stupid like that, he told you, hey, drink scrubbing bubbles. Like I said, for the fuckhead who drink the fish tank stuff. And you thought to yourself, well, you know what? Trump said it's okay to drink scrubbing bubbles. And you drink the scrubbing bubbles. Can't help you. Excited to see what happens. I literally, like, you know who I'll be? I'll be fucking Willy Wonka. You do that for me. When you go ahead and like chew the gum that you're told not to chew. Trump says, hey, don't chew this gum. Stop. Don't come back. Help police murder. And then you do it, and I'm going to do that thing where, like Willy Wonka, where he rests his chin on his fucking hand, and he just goes, I'm excited to see what happens. The suspense is killing me. I'll watch you. I will watch to see what kind of David Cronenberg fucking Videodrome end you meet because you gargled scrubbing bubbles because fuckhead in the White House told you to do it. I'm all for it. If anything, these people who are going to do it, let's put them on TV because they don't want to be on fucking TV like him anyway. So let's make that a fucking show. Let's get a reality show. Hey, do you believe Trump and all this bullshit? Come on the show. And here, drink this bleach. Let's see what happens. And if you're going to do it just for fucking TV and whatever the fuck, I'll watch. I'll watch you drink fucking bleach and then watch whatever you ate for lunch spring out of your stomach John Hurt alien style and dash across the kitchen table because it's been burned out by the fucking bleach you just chugged down your fucking gullet. That's fine. Let's watch you check the fuck out. I'm fine with it. Unreal. But again, I'm so tired of these fucking idiots just kind of going, hey, here's the thing you need to understand. He's extremely dangerous. He's a dangerous man. Yeah, great. Do something about it. Do something about it. Quit fucking rending of garments and gnashing your teeth and telling me he's so dangerous. Well, fine, then show up. We got to vote him out then in November. That's what you got to do. You got to show up and vote him out. And by the way, we're voting him out for a fucking Ambien pill who can't even keep his own false teeth in his fucking mouth. That's the choice. That's the fucking choice. The only thing is, I don't think Biden is stupid enough to tell people to drink bleach. Biden, he'll say what do you got to lose, but he'll be saying it to old people who don't have any health care. That's who he'll say it to. Trump says it to everybody. So you got to pick your fucking poison. You got to put, you know what? They're both scrubbing bubbles. Choose which one you want to fucking chug this November. And I don't know. I mean, I know. Fuck no. We all know who the fucking, who's got to go. But at the same time, you got to think to yourself that I don't even know. Oh, Biden's such a fucking clown. Again, those stupid ads where he just comes out and he's just like, well, we're all in this together, and I like pie and flags. Who likes pies and flags? Do you out there? How about anybody else? Remember America back in the old days, and you go get a shoe shine from a boy named Leroy, gave him a quarter. You got to walk up the street in your shiny shoes and head over to the House of Representatives and get sworn in 1970 and still be relevant 50 fucking years later. Remember that? That's the America I love. And to this day, Leroy's son and his son after him and his son after him, they still run the same shoe shine stand. I still walk by every day and ask them to do my shoes. It used to be a quarter, now I pay a dime because, if they want to keep that booth open, they got to do something about it. A lot of competition for people who want to come over and shine shoes, especially, since the middle class been destroyed and everybody said, I can shine shoes. And they set up these renegade shoe shops. And then I walked by and I said, don't worry. I'm taking care of you. There's a shining light on a hill and a rainbow and all that same other jazz and malarkey we told you about in the old days. But anyway, my teeth, I got to keep them in my mouth. Anyway, we got to take on Trump. I don't want to take him on too strongly. I got to respect the office of the presidency. There is an authority there, and yes, I understand that his face smells like 3-day-old hooker pussy. But at the same time, it's okay. He's still been voted in by some of the people in this country, and we have to respect him. And yeah, of course, he said, what do you got to lose? And he told everybody that they could go ahead and eat nuts and bolts and nails for cereal in the morning, and people did, and it hurt their gums. And yeah, they don't have any dental care, and I know the dangers of not taking care of your teeth. I can tell you that right now. Oh gosh, I got to push them back in. Anyway, I think to myself all the time when I walk past the market that's boarded up on the corner. I used to stop into that market all the time and get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I like peanut butter and jelly. I keep it in my pocket all the time, along with some Werther's candies, but I can't have the Werther's anymore. They stick to my teeth, my dentures, my bridge work. I can't do it, but I used to go to that market all the time, and I used to see Vincenzo in 1970, and then I saw Vincenzo Jr. and Vincenzo Jr. But, 2010, after the housing 2008 bailed out, which we saved this country, but we unfortunately couldn't save Vincenzo in his corner market, so I had to get my peanut butter and jelly somewhere else. And I understand Vincenzo and his family had to go back to Italy, and I don't know if I hope they survived. Things are bad over there, but they won't be so bad here. Now I tell you what, you vote for me and you put me in the office, and we'll all just shake hands and we'll kumbaya and we'll get the bad man out of the White House. But now not all the bad men. You know, I tell you what, these Republicans, I tell you, they'll come around when I'm in office. I don't know if you noticed, they know me. They know me. I know these men, and they know that what they're doing is wrong. And when I'm in office, I'll shake a bony wraith-like finger in their face, and I'll say, you know, there's a new sheriff in town, but a sheriff who believes in bipartisanship, and we should all get along together, don't you think? Would you like a Werther's candy? And then they'll kill 3 Democratic Supreme Court justices, and I'll try to replace them, and they won't let me. But in the spirit of bipartisanship, I'll hear them out. For 4 years, we'll have a court of only 6 people. It'll only be 5 Republicans and a wolf who Trump installed on his last day in office. And they just decided on all of the cases in front of them. And they wanted to make sure this country was safe. And can you hear my spit is coming out of my mouth? I'm sorry about that. But if you vote for me, I promise you I will not let the wolf take your baby in the night. He will stay on the court, and he will only be allowed out to do and when important decisions are needed. Right? And he will deliberate behind closed doors. He will not be caged as per Donald Trump's request. He will be allowed to roam free amidst all of the courtrooms of Washington, D.C. And if you don't want to fall victim to the Supreme Court wolf, then perhaps you just stay out of the courtrooms. Don't do any malfeasance or any bad things. And I know that's hard to say at this time. And you're poor and you don't know what to do and you're scared and you don't know who to vote for. But you should look at me. Look toward me. I know how to cooperate with people. Isn't that what we need now? Is cooperation? It's like when you and your wife have to cooperate with your kids and let them eat, and you don't because you don't have any money to feed them. And you don't have money for 5 people. You got food for 3, so your 3 babies have to eat. That's cooperation. So you know what it means to cooperate. I'll bring that spirit to Washington. I'll cooperate with Republicans, just like you cooperated with your parents when you put them in the home, and then it got expensive, and then you didn't know what to do, so you had to think about increasing their medication so maybe they could just go peacefully in the night. I know what it means to feel that way because, well, I've been a part of this country and this government for 75 years, and I understand exactly what it means to feel like you're behind the 8 ball sometimes. It's like one time my campaign jet wouldn't start, and I know that. Oh, you know the pain of that, don't you? Shut the fuck up. The only reason we're voting for you is because you're not him. What a mess. What a fucking mess. Christ. I don't know, man. I don't. And then you gotta, the next day I gotta get these speeches from everybody. Don't listen to the president. Oh my God, don't listen to, yeah, I know. Okay, we know. Fucking poor people are being torn apart in this country. Middle class people. Are there middle class people, or is middle class just poor now? I don't fucking know. I want to go outside. I would love to go outside, but I'm listening to science. I'm listening to scientists. I'm listening to people tell me that I shouldn't go outside because, again, as I've said many times before, it's not about me. All right. It's about other people. I could get other people sick, and fuck that. I don't want that. I don't want any of that shit on my conscience. You know that too. That's why when you see these motherfuckers going out and protesting and they're holding signs and they're like, we want to leave our house. I demand a haircut. You've got to be fucking kidding me, man. Are you're in the house for a fucking month and now you're agitating because you can't get a fucking haircut? Dude, strap a mask to your head and go buy some clippers. Have your kid shave his head. Make it a fun afternoon. Have your kid shave your head. Fuck that. Make it a completely fun afternoon. Everybody go bald. Do it. Go straight up fucking leukemia patients at your fucking house. Make it a game. Just do that. Just play Johnny Cancer. Hey, we're all Johnny Cancer till this fucking thing fixes. I mean, how do you tell me that you're prepping and you've got millions of guns and all these fucking vegetables in a goddamn hole in your yard, but then you're sad because you can't go get your roots dyed? Are you fucking joking? These motherfuckers, man. And I see them out there. And why do they always have guns? Let me ask you that. Who are these fuckheads who think they can shoot a germ in the face? Are you fucking joking? It's supposed to be a thing where, don't tread on me and a snake and bullshit and whatever the fuck. Yes, we get it. But they're out on the corner and it's always these motherfucking, just trailer park boys, I guess you would say, with the fucking big ass beards, and they got 4 AR-15s over their shoulders. I mean, four AR-15s, 4 AR-15s. Literally, the most expensive thing you have in your house are the very guns you have in your house to protect your stuff. Do you need that? Do you really fucking need that? It's insane. And then you bring it to the fucking rally. This isn't about being tough. They think guns make them tough, and they're by protesting and and all this Tea Party bullshit. Dude, this isn't about being tough. You can't beat up a sneeze. All right, fuck you. You know what? But I'll be honest with you. You can't beat up a sneeze. You can't fucking wrestle a germ. Nobody's gonna shoot a fucking germ. You can't choke it the fuck out. But I will tell you, when I see those people rallying and they're out there and they're holding their, and it's always, this fucking combination of like leather-clad fucking armor, Kevlar, gun-toting assholes, and then dudes in tank tops and flip-flops who are just like, I like the beach, man. Let me out of my house, man. I mean, it just, you fucking inconvenient cocksuckers. I don't, but you know what? I'm all for it. Like I said, you know what? Don't drink bleach? Fuck you, drink bleach. We should put them on TV to drink bleach. And if these assholes want to go outside, I'm sorry, again, like I said, I don't want it to hurt other people. And I hope other people stay home. I hope most people stay home. But I'm all for these rallies, because if you're at that fucking rally, that means you feel we should open shit up and you don't believe in this stuff, which is fine with me, because I'll tell you what, I would gladly trade 1,000 hillbillies to bring irony back. Get these motherfuckers out. That would be totally fine. Irony used to be great. Now everybody's got irony poisoning in this fucking country. Let's bring it back as more comic relief. And I'll tell you what, if 1,000 fucking hillbillies with 3,000 teeth between them and 4,000 AR-15s between them wind up dying because of this fucking thing, hey man, have the fuck at it. And I, believe me, I've said before, there's that chaos guy in me who's like, hey man, maybe 5,000 people should die. And then there's the rest of me who's just like, fuck you, what are you, insane? Because inevitably it's going to find somebody I care about. It's going to find somebody I know. I know people who've had it now. My buddy Rick had it. I've known people who've had it and gotten through it. Thankfully, you know what I mean? You don't want any fucking tragedies to happen. And my mom is ready to go. And fuck, I sit there and I say, I joke that it's not about me. I want to make sure that I'm fine, but also I want to make sure I'm taking care of other people. That's the most important fucking thing, is taking care of other people. And it is. But also I've read about this. All right. I've seen the comorbidities, and I know 50% of the people who die from this are fat dudes. And that's not good, because that's me. You know what I mean? Although, 50% of the people who die are fat dudes. It's not good, but also it is good in a sense, because it means that I'm that much closer to being king of the fat dudes. All right? That's fine. Let's fucking thin the herd on these motherfuckers. Pun fully intended. And then I'll just be out there running around like King Hippo from fucking Mike Tyson Punch-Out. I'll just be the fat guy who runs everything, in charge of the crown. Dude, fuck that. You know what? I'm on board. I want more fucking rallies. Get these guys and their guns out there, let them be dead in 3 fucking weeks, and just let me boot my way up the fucking fat guy rankings. Enjoy your ventilator, Tubby. I'm climbing the fat ladder to the fat pinnacle. I'm going to put a fat crown on my head. Somebody give me a bouquet of sausages. I'm running this fucking joint. Yeah! You don't want any piece of me. I'm King Hippo. I'm fucking running Fat Guy Town. Forget it, Jake. It's Fat Guy Town. And fucking Schmitty's running it. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! These fucking idiots. You're out there risking people's lives. Maybe it's not your life. I go to the store. I'm going once a week, twice a week now. And I used to dally in the fucking store. I won't lie. And I'll tell you this too. I said that you need a mask now to go to Walgreens. And so I'm like, well, I'll just go to the grocery store, because I found a grocery store by my house that's pretty stocked up. I think I told you about this. And also there's no line. So I'm like, this is cool. But so I got the mask. Bridge sent me a mask, and then I threw it on. And I went to the grocery store, and it said on the door, please, you can't come in without a mask. So I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Because if I would have shown up without a mask, I would have been like, oh fuck, trying to crudely fashion something out of a goddamn thong. You know what I mean? Just find some underwear in the gutter and throw it on my fucking head. But it's, you try to get in and out, because, it's not about me. It's about the people working in those fucking stores. These people are, I've said it before, nobody signed up to be because this is the thing, is these grocery store workers are now essential. They're telling them they're essential. And I'll tell you what, essential, man, the meaning of that word really changed in the last fucking 5 months, didn't it? Because you remember when, McDonald's workers said they wanted to get their minimum wage bumped up to $15 an hour, and everybody laughed. And they were like saying, fuck you, man. Fuck you. This is an entry-level job. If you haven't gotten out of this, because this is a job I had in high school, and you should be able to move on and get a better job. Not knowing it's not about them not wanting a better job. Maybe they're They need to keep this job. Maybe it's a second job. Maybe this is the only job they could get. Maybe, again, but we've talked about it before. Maybe they don't have the education to get a better job. Or maybe they just fucking like working at fucking McDonald's. And you know what? Land of the fucking free, home of the fucking brave. And they should get a living wage. People should get a fucking living wage in this country. But people, now they're essential though. Now they can't go home. Now it's like, fuck you. Now you got to stay. Oh, you're a grocery store worker? Now you got to fucking work. Can you imagine trying to get out of fucking work? They're like, no, we need you. Oh my God, are you kidding me? People need to buy green beans. You can't fucking go home. God damn it. You shouldn't have to go to a grocery store. Like military people, they sign up, they can die. Nobody wants to die for Hobby Lobby. Nobody wants to die at Target. They didn't sign up to get that job thinking they were putting their lives on the fucking line, but now they're heroes. And believe me, my buddy Dave Anthony said it. It's when in this country, when they tell you you're a hero, get ready to die. Because that is them telling you you're expendable. That's what they mean when they say you're a hero. You're fucking expendable. And it's all bullshit to get you to go, oh, I am a hero. And then this fucking nonsense where people are clapping at 7 o'clock in the evening or 8 o'clock in the evening. Everybody go outside and clap for these people. It's awesome. It's so nice. And that's great. But that's not paying the fucking rent. I clearly see us moving toward an applause-based economy. And I'm going to tell you right now, we need to raise the minimum smattering soon, quickly, because these fucking people are going to have goddamn bills to pay if they don't die selling people their fucking kale. Crazy. I mean, I go to any store and there's people just there stocked working. I saw Whole Foods. They got shirts now that say on the back, it says hero. And on the front, it says hardcore. I'm like, hey, that's fine. But the guy at Whole Foods didn't want to be a hardcore hero. He wanted to make a little fucking extra money. That's all he did. He's trying to stay alive. That's the whole point. Everybody always says, oh, those jobs are entry level jobs. Well, they are jobs that keep you alive, or at least they fucking used to be. I'm sure Trader Joe's a good guy. I mean, he fucking invented $2 Chuck and he's got pretty good peanut butter pretzels, but I'm not ready to die for that motherfucker. That dude can't even figure out a fucking parking lot. Seriously, you go to Trader Joe's, they got that Byzantine parking lot. It's like fucking American gladiators just getting into the store. It's like a hedge maze or some shit. I'm going to find a frozen Nicholson behind a goddamn Dodge Charger. And the only thing missing in the fucking parking lot is a steakhead with a fucking tennis ball cannon trying to wing me before I get into the store so I don't win. Fuck that. Give me some fucking pugil sticks so I can beat the shit out of somebody on my way in. But now people are supposed to die in that store to sell me what? Fucking minced garlic? Unreal. But people just wanted to fucking stay alive, man. But now they're essential. But now you're a fucking soldier. You're a fucking soldier. You were working a second ago. Again, 5 months ago, they made fun of you. You wanted $15 an hour. They're like, fuck you, McDonald's, you're a burger flipping asshole. And then they're like, oh my God, please come and sell burgers. Please, oh my God, we need you. This whole country is because of you. And I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, man. People don't need applause. They need fucking money. And then the second bill went through and there's no more money for people again. And I mean, people just barely made it through April. I can't, what are they going to do for May? They're going to pay their fucking rent? It's and also just the fucking weird way everything has changed, man. I had tickets to Pearl Jam, all right, and I'm privileged enough to where right now I don't need the money for the tickets to Pearl Jam. I don't need to call Ticketmaster and freak the fuck out. But there are people who need their money. And there are people who, they had season tickets for sports teams and they're trying to get their money back and they're being told, no. Ticketmaster's like, nah, we're just going to hold on to it. Concert tickets, sports tickets, there's no refunds because they haven't postponed the season yet. And they're like, no, this will all be rescheduled. And there are people who are starving. And I know you're thinking, well, why'd you buy $1,500 season tickets to a baseball game anyway? But you know why? Because maybe that was the one fucking thing they loved in their life. Maybe they worked their ass off at their essential fucking job to have season tickets or a co-season ticket plan to watch the Dodgers win a World Series because it could make them happy. That's why. And now they see, you know what? Shit's hitting the fan, stuff's fucking collapsing, and it's all falling apart. It's Billy Zane with a gunshot on the fucking deck of the Titanic watching people fight over lifeboats, turning to his manservant and going, it's all falling apart. That's what's about to fucking happen. And so people now want their money so they can stay alive. And they're getting told no by corporations and companies, and they have no recourse People have filed a class action lawsuit against the MLB. Well, what fuck? Are you going to, so what, you're going to pay lawyers now to try to get your fucking money back? It's just, I don't know where this country's going to go, man. I really don't. After this shit calms down, if this shit calms down, are you still going to think the guy who works at fucking Whole Foods is a hero? Will you treat him as such? Will Bezos give him the raise and the money that he needs? I got to be honest, man. It's like, I grew up and I lived in America. And America is capitalism. It just was. And, I grew up all through the 80s and we were told the Russians, communism, and fuck them. And then the wall fell and we won. We were told we won. And that was like, all right, cool. And to me, this has been my way of life. I've accepted capitalism. This is where I'm at, the great country in the world. This is where we are. And I won the nationalistic lottery by being born in this country and not being born in fucking Ecuador. I'm not drinking dirt water out of a pothole somewhere trying to stay alive. I live in the land of plenty. But I see the divide coming now. And I don't know what they're going to do. Even if this gets fixed, we get a vaccine, whatever the fuck, and they get restaurants, so, because a lot of people, again, these are the jobs that people that might not have the education to work on Wall Street or the connections to work in an office. These are the jobs that keep this country alive. Guys who work in grocery stores, busting their fucking ass, and hair salons and fucking tattoo parlors. It's funny that they're opening all those tattoo parlors and hair and nail salons. It's just like, and they're saying that those are essential now, whatever the fuck. Cab drivers, Uber drivers, fucking retail. These are jobs that, anybody can get those jobs and it can help you stay alive and pay for your, it can't anymore because they've cut the fuck out of it so much and healthcare is such a fucking issue. But, like I said, when I was a kid, grocery checker was a good job. It was a union job and you got healthcare. It was great. Once you worked at a grocery store, you worked in the union. It was good. But now they've beaten the shit out of that and they're strangling fucking unions and they're going after unions now. And somehow they've convinced poor people that unions are bad. And and that's not where I grew up. I grew up in the Midwest and I grew up in a union house and I was, they fought for you. And is there corruption in the union? Yes. Is there corruption in the government? Yes. Is there corruption at McDonald's? Yes. Is there corruption in the apartment on either side of me? Probably. And I don't know what to do about it. That's the thing. This is not my fucking pay grade. I'm just trying to stay alive. We all are. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. We all wanted to just fucking work and then, go to the movies or go to a concert or just, life is that endless series of struggles that's interrupted by brief moments and flashes of happiness, of joy. Because it's nose to the grindstone. And then once you have a family, man, you don't even think about yourself anymore. But you transfer your joy into watching your kids succeed. And there's so many people out there now who aren't going to see their kids succeed. Because maybe you can't afford to put them through college. And they have to go to college because, otherwise, what are they doing? They're breathing in spores at a grocery store and passing out dead on the fucking floor. And then someone calls them a hero and rolls them out of the way and hires another guy to take his fucking place. Because again, these people are expendable. I'm expendable. That's a hard fucking truth, man. Like I said, I grew up in capitalism. I grew up in a world where I was told, this is the way it was be. Greed is good. That started in the 80s, Reagan, and now, 40 years later, I can look back and go, man, they strip mined this fucking country. They constantly wielded their influence and their money like a fucking cudgel, and they used it to dig a bigger divide between rich and poor. And it is, I just see it as being the death of this experiment. And again, I'm fucking Bob Laughs. All right. I'm not expecting you guys to be like, well, Mike has a solid point there, because then I'm just, these fucking assholes are going, well, bleach is very corrosive to the voice box, whatever the fuck. I'm not expecting you to go, yeah, Mike, woohoo, or whatever the fuck. I'm not looking for that shit. I'm not. But I believe I said it last week, and I've said it maybe the week before that. All of this downtime is poisonous, because you sit and you think and you wonder and you try to figure out where it's going to go from here, man. And I don't know where it's going. I don't. Everyone has worth. Everyone has value. And you've got these people who they're fucking furious at baseball players for making millions of dollars to play a kid's game. And they're also furious at people who want more money because they make hamburgers. And it's like, well, what do you want? Will you, because it's funny, they'll laugh and they'll say, oh, I'm not a socialist, and oh, you want the government to take over and give out handouts, and you want to make sure everybody makes the same uniform money. Well, what are you saying when you yell at football and baseball players who shouldn't make millions of dollars? Do you want them to make what the guy at McDonald's makes because they play a kid's game? Is that what you think? Are you that self-centered that you think you're the only one who should make more? Or are you the arbiter of who should make what? Why don't you just fucking worry about yourself? Because I got news for you. If they haven't come for you yet, they're gonna. And I don't mean to sound like fucking Norma Ray ringing the fucking bell. I've said it many times, man. I am fucking Rick Ha-Ha, man. I'm not trying to get you to follow me. I'm not a leader. I'm not sitting up with a bullhorn. I'm not on a soapbox on a corner. I'm not a fucking swaggart, and I'm not a Hoffa. I'm just an observer. And when you look at what's happening and you start to think about it and you try to figure out what's going to happen and where it's going to go, it doesn't look good. I just don't see it. It just doesn't look good, man. And I'm sure I'm just stir crazy from being in my fucking house. I got to go out, like I said the other day. I had an appointment. That's right. I had an appointment. What the fuck? Who's taking appointments at this time? And you're like, well, did you get a haircut? What'd you do? Did you go to manicure? No, I went to get waxed. Look, I cannot face the apocalypse with hairy balls. I'm sorry. I need a smooth bag if I'm going to take on the demons, baby. Bring it on now. Smooth it up. Let's bullet boys this fucking cock. Smooth up in ya. Woo! No, here's what happened. I think I told you guys that I had to pay for my fucking tags for my car. So that was $160 I didn't see fucking coming that I had to pay. And you're like, all right, well, what the fuck? Because again, it's that thing where, well, because it said, whatever, if you don't pay it, you're fucked. And you can't call the government and just be like, please, sir, whatever. That's the last fucking phone call you want to have. Is there any way we can think about this later? Because I'm not even driving the fucking car. I think I told you I put on 70 miles last month or whatever the fuck. So, but it had to be done. And I was like, all right, just fucking do it. Because again, it's one of those things I'll fucking forget about. And then in September, I'll be in jail. And then I'm fucking, they're sawing off my arm as I call up Jennifer Connelly and tell her I'm never coming home, and she's getting an ass to ass at that fucking point. I'm that guy. That'll happen. So I could pay it. So I'm like, I just fucking pay it. Who cares? So I did. I was lucky enough to where I had it on hand, and now you just wait for the fucking tags. So they send the tags. I get a letter from the DMV, and I throw it on the desk. And I don't ever open my mail. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I had opened the tag thing and forgot about it until like 2 days before they were due. And I had it on my desk for like 5 weeks. And I was like, fuck. And I paid it online. So then I get the thing from the DMV. And I'm like, all right. And I'm not driving. So who the fuck cares about the tags, right? So 2 days go by. And then I open up the envelope because I'm going to the store. And I go, well, I'll just throw the tags on now. I'm heading outside. And it says, incomplete. And I'm like, what? There's no tags in there. And I open it up, and it says, incomplete. Your payment has been registered, but you need a smog check in order for us to issue tags and give you new registration. And then it said that your payment is logged, but if we don't receive your smog check by the end of the month, you are responsible for any citations or impounds that will happen because you don't have your tags. And I'm like, I paid you, you fucks. What are you talking about? I fucking paid you the money. I shouldn't have to. It should be, at least work with me. You know what I mean? At least go, hey, look, we know you paid the money, so you got to get the smog check by like May 15th, whatever the fuck. That's fine. And carry this letter in your car, show it to the cops, whatever the fuck, and believe me, in LA, that's the last fucking thing I want to do is get pulled over and go, here's a piece of paper, sir. Hands out of the glove compartment. So I'm like, fuck that. So And then, you get sour. I'm a sourpuss about it. And it's like, oh, man, what the fuck? You guys could have fucking told me this. And then I looked at the paperwork that I had paid before, and it said right on there I needed a smog check. God damn it, Schmitty. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? This is your fault. But also, we're in the middle of a fucking a global pandemic. God damn it. We're all dying in a Hong Kong garden, as our friend Susie and the Banshees would say. Ding, 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 ding. So I all right, I got to get a fucking smog check. Fine. So now in the middle of a pandemic, 'cause I don't know if smog boys are essential. All right. That's gotta be the name of the show. Smog boys are essential, right? Doesn't it? I don't know. Let's write down the numbers so I can go back later and review. Smog boys are essential. God, I hate that I have to stop down and do that. All right. But I got to find a joint and go get a smog check. Last time I did this, there was a joint right by my mechanic, because also I'm due for like an oil change, and also Uber wants my registration. So when that comes, I got to send it to them. But then Uber keeps sending me a note because they need an inspection for the vehicle. You got to get that every year. And so all this shit is necessary, but then I'm like, man, this is more shit. I got to pay my mechanic and stuff, and I'm not even driving. What the fuck? I can't go anywhere and do anything. But Uber literally writes me every day. They text me every day, and they email. Just a reminder, your vehicle registration has expired. Just a reminder, your vehicle inspection needs to be brought in. Just a reminder, your vehicle registration has expired. Just a reminder, your vehicle inspection needs to be brought in. Fuck. And they can see clearly I'm not driving because nobody's fucking driving. But now I got to get a smog check. So I'm like, all right, so... And I should say this. I make it sound like it was this laborious process. Oh my God, I got to get a smog check. I go online. I Google it on Google Maps. There's a place, not kidding, half mile from my house. And I look, and it says on the website they're open, but I don't know if they're really open. Because it also says COVID-19 may reflect whatever the fuck. So I'm like, all right. So the reason I stayed up all night on Wednesday night was because I said, all right, I'll this place supposedly opens at 9 a.m. I'll give them a call, and if they're open, I'll go do it. So 9 a.m. I called him, and there's a dude there, and I said, you guys open? He goes, oh yeah. I go, do I need an appointment? He goes, no. I said, great. So I hopped out into the vehicle, stepped outside, and I think I told you it's been like 60 and gray here, 65 and gray here, which is still beautiful, nice breeze, but still not summery, But this week, man, like today, again, going to be 97. I think I may have mentioned this early in the show. Going to be roasty toasty, folks. Which, by the way, that's the story I want both Dolly Parton and Tom Hardy to read me. the story of Mike and the roasty toasty day. Mike's big, great, not so sad roasty toasty day. So I go over to the guy, and he's just there, and he's got, I've got my mask on. He's got a mask and gloves on. And he asks if he can pull the car in, and he does it, and he does the whole thing, and I pass. And I go to leave. I pay him $48 because, again, why not, right? Why not? I already paid $159 for the fucking tags, now $48 for the smog check, and look at me. This is me. Just look at me making it fucking rain all over this goddamn town. But again, people are very nice, and they think of me, so I did have the money, courtesy of you guys. Thank you. So I finish. It's like 9:40, and now I don't want to go home because now I'm out, and I haven't been outside in, other than to go to a grocery store. I mean, literally, other than to go to a grocery store, I haven't been out of the house in 5 weeks. I check the mail, you go to the store, whatever the fuck, but I'm going out like twice a week and running to the store and then coming home. I'm not, you're not going to a movie, you're not going to a party, you're not having fun, you're not going to the park, you're not going to the gym, none of that. All that, that, we're all in lockdown. It's all fucked. But I was out, and I was like, what can I do here, man? I felt like John Amos in fucking Coming to America. Like, I don't know what they're about, curtsy? I don't know if to kiss your hand. I feel like breakdancing. Like, there were so many possibilities because I'm out of the house. I'm escaped from the ant farm. I'm out. Nobody knows where I am. I can do what the fuck I want. I got a mask. I'm taking over this fucking town. Have mask, we'll travel. So I drive, and I go, where am I going to go? All right. And I'm like, all right, I'm hungry. What should I do? I go, well, I'll be really honest with you, man. I wanted somebody to make me food. Does that make sense? I wanted convenience. I wanted to be waited on. I wanted somebody to pamper me. I'm not even that. Just I wanted somebody to do something for me. Because, that was my life before. You run to the drive-thru, you run here, you run there, whatever the fuck. But now, I'm cooking a bit. I made some red sauce and sausages this week with some fucking pasta, some ravioli. And I cook, but I will tell you this. You know what I've done? You know what I've beaten to death? It was a great idea in the beginning, but now I have absolutely kicked the shit out of it up to this point. Lunch meat sandwiches. Like, I keep buying like boar's head ham or boar's head Ichiban turkey breast or and I'll buy like a pound of meat and a pound of mozzarella cheese, but I'll buy like 3 different lunch meats, like a third of a pound of mortadella, a third of a pound of this turkey breast, a third of a pound of chicken breast, a third of a pound of pastrami, whatever the fuck, whatever I feel like I'm in the mood for, I get it. And it's just so easy for me to make a sandwich. I got bread, I get out some fucking mustard, do that, pickles, cheese, meat. And I'm eating them every day. I'm eating one sandwich basically every fucking day. And I think I hit a tipping point where I'm just like, fuck this. I can't because it's too easy. It's just, look, I like a lunch meat sandwich like the next guy, but it's too easy, man. And I'm just sick of it. I want real food. I want hot food. I want, when I cooked this week, it was actually really cool. When I cooked, I made a red sauce. I made some fucking Italian sausages in my cast iron skillet. I crisped them up and then I boiled them and then I threw them in the red sauce to toss it around. And then I had fucking ravioli with that on top, some fucking shredded parm, and it was good. And I felt proud. I felt proud that I had done that. It wasn't just sticking a knife in a fucking jar of mayonnaise and then pulling meat off of a deck of fucking meat cards. You know what I mean? But I think I'm over sandwiches for a bit. So I'm gonna have to fucking put those on the shelf. But when I went out the other day, I was just like, and also, I was like, all right, you know what? I want a breakfast burrito. But there was a place in Burbank, but I didn't want to drive all the way to Burbank. I was like, because it was even though I was out and free and the windows down, I also didn't want to be out because I don't want to kill anybody, or I don't want to get sick. I don't want to get anybody sick. Like I said, remember, 50% of the fat people are dying. So take care of the other 50% because, again, King Hippo's got to move up the goddamn list. So I knew I couldn't stay out, but I wanted to do so. I've been threatening to go run. There's a park by my house, and I wanted to go by the park and see what it was like in the daytime. So I went, and there was a guy out there. This is where I used to, this used to be the Lord's Gym. Remember, by year 5 or whatever the fuck it was, my buddy Tyler Smith, who hosted the podcast, he hosts the podcasts. He has a Jesus movie podcast, and then he has Battleship Pretension, which I've been on, him and David. He had a buddy who was a trainer, and he would train me. But again, it was just, it was that plyometrics and dynamic tension, where he's just got a band around a tree and you're doing your own pull-ups and then you're doing push-ups on the ground and then he's, bouncing a medicine ball off your fucking head and you can dodge ball, you can dodge a wrench, or vice versa. So I used to work out at this park. So sure enough, I pull up and there's another guy. He's got like orange cones set up and he's got like, yoga balls and stuff. And so he's going to be training people, but also in this park, there are people running, people in hoodies, people going around in circles. But also it's a homeless enclave. There's easily 15 homeless people in the park. I can see them. They're on the corner. They're laying under trees. Again, I'm not trying to cast aspersions, but these people don't have masks on, and I don't know how healthy they are. I don't know. Clearly, they're in the same boat with me of having no insurance, but I'm a little better off than having to sleep under a tree. So it in my brain, I was like, all right, am I going to hurt these people if I get out, if I run here, if I work out? And then conversely, are they going to hurt me? Are they sick? Are they, and again, sleeping here? Are they sneezing? Are they, it's such a weird life. Like I read a story about how in Hong Kong, they've opened up restaurants now, but when you walk into the restaurant, they take your temperature. And then you sit down and everybody's got masks and gloves on. You have a mask and gloves on. You have to keep the mask on unless you're eating. You go to the bar, you order your drink, you have to walk away from the bar and stand by the wall. And then they call you, you can come pick up your drink and go. Like nobody can sit at a bar and hang out anymore. They don't want any. There's you can't have parties of more than 4. If you do, they'll break you up and seat you. And also, you have to sit. You don't sit next to one another. Like they space everybody out. And so that's what I say when I talk about what's going to be normal. What's normal in this country? You know, it's so funny. It's so quaint for me to go watch these clips of like sporting events or concerts. You know, you see Coachella, there's fucking 80,000 people all wearing very little clothing and on top of one another. And in your brain, you're like, is that ever going to happen again? And I asked a bunch of these questions after 9/11. And like I said, all they did was they took your shampoo and made you take your shoes off and then everything was fine. So, you know, as they, you know, whatever the fuck Goldblum said, where it's like nature finds a way, they'll find a way. Hopefully people will find a way, but it's going to take a while, I think. So I'm observing this park and there's a lot of people without masks, even people working out without masks. And I was like, because now you're sweating, now you're breathing, you know, and I know I can get pretty sweaty. And when I'm running, it'll be like, and there'll be, you know, sweat running down my face. And when I breathe out, sweat will come off, you know, I'll exhale, it'll come off, you know, like a boxer getting hit. You just see it all over the fucking place. So I cased the joint. I looked around. I didn't get out of the car, but in my head, I was like, because I really, look, man, I got to start doing something. I need some sort of physical activity. I got to do something because I'm just driving myself crazy here. I'm not joking when I talked about, like, you know, garbage and job salute, and because I'm eating fucking lunch meat sandwiches and chips and fucking candy bars and stop. I mean, cheese ravioli, whatever the fuck. So I want to grab the reins on it. So, but that park I think might be out. But I went and I drove around a couple times and looked, and there's another park adjacent to there, and that one looked a little more empty. So I thought, well, maybe it's not nearly as big, but I'll just take more laps, that kind of thing. But it was really just about being out of the house. I had all the windows down. I don't wear my mask in the car, and you get, you know, there are people all wearing their masks in their cars, and they give you a look, but it's like, look, I'm in my car. Now it's just me. And I know there's stuff in the ether and in the air and shit like that, but I mean, whatever. I'm sure that, you know, going forward, I'll wear the mask in the car maybe. Whatever they tell you to do, I'll do. Just call up Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye or one of these fucking guys and let them set me straight. Get Fauci on the blower. Get the scarf to tell me what's what. You know, and if it doesn't fucking work, I got a Clorox in my Vitamix, and I'll make myself a fucking protein shake that'll knock it all the fuck out of me. I'll be sweating bleach for the next fucking 6 weeks. So I leave the homeless park, and I mean, I'm like, all right, well, I'll just go home. You know, I'm out, but I can't. You know, and also I told you I hadn't been to bed, so I was like, maybe I'll go home and go to sleep or whatever the fuck I'll do. So I started to drive home, and like I said, I wanted somebody to cook for me, but it's still only, it's like 10:30, 10:45 in the morning. And I could have gone to Burbank and gotten the burrito, and then I was like, I shouldn't be out. You shouldn't be out this long. You've already been out over an hour, and who knows what's going to happen, so you really should head home. But there's a Taco Bell right by my house. And I mean, you know, I wanted breakfast burrito, and I didn't know. I was like, well, I think Taco Bell has breakfast. I don't know if they do or they don't. But also, I just wanted somebody to make me some food. Because there's no diner I can go to. It's all fucking takeout and shit like that anyway. But I didn't give a fuck. You know what I did? I wanted to tell somebody to do something and have them do it. And have them thank me for it. And I wanted to thank somebody profusely. I just wanted some normalcy from the before times. So I went, and the Taco Bell was there. There's one guy ahead of me in the drive-thru. I pull up. And I pull up to the menu, and there's no breakfast. I'm like, oh man, I really wanted eggs. And I have eggs at the house. And then in my brain, I'm like, well, maybe I could make eggs and put them on a taco. And then in my head, I just go, what the fuck are you doing, man? You don't want Taco Bell. You know, and I wanted a breakfast burrito from a good place. That's what I wanted. I don't want Taco Bell. I don't want any of this garbage, because it's garbage. It's just fucking garbage. What the fuck am I doing, man? And also, you shouldn't be out. You're out here. You got a mask. People are wearing masks, for fuck's sake. Go home. There's a pandemic. Like, it was that thing where all of a sudden it came rushing onto me. Where I'm like, you're being very selfish right now. Yes, you want something. Yes, you're craving this normalcy. You're craving this, but go home. Be safe. You've got food at home. And I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. So, by this time, there's two guys behind me in the drive-thru, so I can't back up. And I want to back up. And I look and I kind of start and I'm like, oh, fuck, there's guys there. And the guy in front of me is there. And then the guy comes on the fucking menu and he's like, hey, welcome to Taco Bell. What can I do for you? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. And he's like, what do you mean? Okay, well, just let me know when you're ready. And now I'm trapped between the guy waiting for his order and there's guys behind me and I don't want to order and I don't want to do that thing where you go, nothing for me today, thanks. And you fucking zoom by. Although, you know what? I've done that. I've done that before, germs and every other fucking thing. And I didn't feel weird about it. But for this time, it just felt like I was in, because you know what? In my brain, I was like, these people are working. They're here. Why are you wasting their time? You can't waste their fucking time and wasting your time as well. So, you know, you're already here and and then the guy comes on again. He's like, hey, can I help you? What do you want? I go, yeah, I don't know. Do you have breakfast? We don't. I'm sorry. Okay, well, I don't. All right, I've been to Taco Bell, but it's been a while. I mean, we get tacos every month for poker, but I'm like, all right, do I just get like 2 tacos and go home? A steak taco? What the fuck do I want? And then there was a sign on there, and I've been doing this at the grocery store. I get something I've never had. Like I told you, I bought pineapple preserves at the fucking grocery store. I mean, I just bought it because I was like, yeah, that's the move. And, because normally when I buy jelly, I have to think about it and measure it and all this. And I'm like, fuck you. I saw pineapple preserves. I grabbed them. I didn't even think fucking twice. Is it good for you? No. I bought 2 pounds of strawberries the other day. I mean, are half of them going to go in the trash? Probably. But they were 99 cents a pound and I fucking wanted them. So I looked at the sign and in my brain, I was like, well, they got tacos and burritos, all sorts of shit, but they had a big fucking sign and it was like, they're, how Taco Bell is. They're like, we got a fucking Freedom Flotilla crunch wrap with 19 different layers and all that other bullshit. And I'm like, all right, well, they used to have that one burrito they put in a press and it made it crispy on the outside and I could actually choke that down. And I look at the sign and at this moment, I wasn't thinking, I was thinking just get something because there's people behind you. He's talking. It's loud. You got to get home. You got a mask. You're going to die. 50% of you people, you fat fucks, you die. You want to die in a Taco Bell drive-thru? You'll literally be the lead story on every news. Hey, by the way, Captain Comorbidity died in a Taco Bell drive-thru because he couldn't fucking control himself today. Get the fuck out of here, man. So I look at the sign and they've got a fucking new thing that I'd never heard of. And so I just go, okay, it just one word. It was a beacon in the fucking morning. Through the haze, I looked and I just saw it. It put itself together and it shined with like the blue fucking popping letters of Dirk Diggler's name in Boogie Nights. It exploded off the fucking drive-thru menu. Triple Lupa. And look, I know what chalupas are. And I assume a triple lupa is something in the chalupa family. I don't know, maybe there's a bunch of lupas. They got Oompa Loompas, they got chalupas, they got triple lupas, they got all sorts of lupas there at Taco. It's been so long since I've been to Taco Bell. Everything could be lupas. They could have burrito lupas, they could have taco lupas. I don't fucking know. It might be a lupa-based economy at this point. I'm not sure how they handle their business. And again, the end times. They may have converted to just a strictly lupa outfit. Maybe that's all they've got these days. So I just went, all right, I'll have a triple lupa. He's, all right, anything else? No. All right, do you want any sauce? No. And I pulled up. Because again, it leaped off the sign and into my very being, into the fiber of my being. I felt lupa to the bone. I felt triple lupa to the bone, man. And I just blurted it out because I panicked. I won't lie, I panicked. He's talking to me. People are behind me. I don't want anybody to honk at me. Plus, I'm going to die. I'm out exposed to the elements at this goddamn point. So, I just said triple lupa, man. And I pulled up. And the weirdest thing is as I pull up, there's a dude in the parking lot. And they open the drive-thru window. And the guy, first of all, this guy's wearing a hazmat suit. He's got like fucking goggles and a mask and gloves and like a hood. And he goes, 1 second, sir. And he looks out and the dude in the parking lot goes, hi, and yells. And the guy goes, hi, can I help you? And he goes, I'm picking up 5 burritos. Like this dude he's easily 10 to 15 feet away from the drive-thru window. And the guy's like, is your name Mike Arvidsson? Yes. Okay. It'll be just a second. And they're yelling it back. I got my windows open and also they're yelling. So I don't know what kind of spittle's in the air, dude. I'm right in the fucking blast zone. Please stop yelling at Mike Arvidsson and his 5 burritos. Okay. I just want my triple lupa so I can go home and not die. Have you heard of comorbidities? Please get me the fuck out of here, man. And it was so weird. I will tell you, I talk about Hong Kong and the way they're doing things. Well, just something as simple as going to a drive-thru, because I haven't been to a drive-thru in fucking forever. It seems it's got to be a month, easy 5 weeks since this happened. I haven't been to a drive-thru. And That dude is yelling about his burritos, and he's being cool. He's like, no problem, man. I'm here just waiting. Nothing. He's got a mask and gloves and shit. And this guy leans out with a basket. And he's like, all right, put your card in the basket. And I put my card in the basket, and he pulls it inside. And then he holds out the things I got to put in my PIN number. And then he used a fucking like a tongs to pull my card out and put it back in the basket. And I grabbed it. And then he's like, do you want any sauce? I'm like, no. And he closed the window. And then he reached out, he opened the window, and he had Mike Arvidsson's fucking burritos. And he's like, hey, and he's like, here you go. And Mike Arvidsson then walks, and he's now no longer social distancing. He's now near my window. And in my head, I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Come on, man. You were doing it a second ago. But he holds the burritos out. That dude walks up. Now, when he held the burritos up, by the way, they're on a tray. And he didn't lean out. He extended the tray out with his arm, and Arvidsson reached. They were both at two separate arms lengths. That like they weren't close, and Arvidsson wasn't super close to me, but he was close enough. And then this dude closes the window, and then he opens it up, and again the same tray came out, and he's leaning inside. He's like, "Thank you, sir." And I just took the bag and fucking bailed. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, "What did you get this thing for? You don't want this fucking thing. Why did I get this?" But I just wanted somebody to be nice to me. I wanted someone to do something for me. And I got home, and I opened this thing, and I was right. It is in the Chalupa family. And you know what? The name, there's no fucking mystery here. You figured it out. A triple lupa is 3 chalupas joined at the ass. You know, I talked about Jennifer Connelly earlier. That these chalupas are at a party, and Keith David is leering at them. I mean, it is just... There's a chalupa in the middle, and he's getting the business, and there's a chalupa on either end. And what it is, you break them off like they're fucking cinnamon rolls or something in a pan. And one of them, I guess, has like a spicy sauce. One of them has a cheese sauce. The middle has both fucking sauces. Because look, as we both know, when anybody's getting spit roasted, if they're in the middle, they're getting covered with both kinds of sauce. And I got home, and I looked at this thing, and I was just like, oh man, all right. And I felt ashamed, like, because that thing, it was like $5 or $4 or whatever. And I'm like, why did you get this? What are you doing? But I didn't want to throw it away then, because right now, again, we're all broke, and I had just spent $48 on a smog check I didn't want to fucking spend it on. So I'm like, well, you got to eat this, dude. You got to fucking just, and I don't think I even chewed the fucking thing. I'm not kidding. It was this human centipede of fucking food. It should have been called Misery Train. Fuck Triple Lupa. I understand that's cute, but just call it Misery Train. Because it had an engine and a caboose and a dining car right in the fucking middle, and I picked it up and I slid it down my fucking throat like goddamn Maitland Ward in a Blacked video. I mean, I went off. I didn't fuck around. I was Riley Reid, just fucking like I choked it down like a hitchhiker trying to get a ride home in the 50s. I just throated the motherfucker, and I didn't even I swallowed it down, And then of course I put it down, and then I sat down, and I was tired because I hadn't slept, and now I'm ashamed that I went to Taco Bell, and I have my food thing comes to light, and I just go, oh, why did you do that? You shouldn't have fucking done that. And I feel bad enough already that I'm sitting around shoveling garbage in my throat and candy all the fucking time. And so I just went, all right, look, get rid of this fucking thing. And I did. I just walked in, fingers down the throat, adios, triple lupa. It was a lot easier coming up than it was going down, I'll tell you that. And then I sat down, and in my head I was just, man, you spent like $4 on that thing, $5. You just threw it up for no reason. Why are you throwing that up? Well, because I didn't feel good eating it either. I felt bad, and I know I felt shame because I bought it, but I felt bad because it wasn't good, and I shouldn't be eating food like that anyway. And I just wanted to find some sort of normalcy. I wanted a moment where it felt like it had before. And as I sat there thinking about wasting money on fast food and forcing myself to throw up something that I didn't need to eat, I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe things are more normal than I thought. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You guys can be my, you can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. I guess you'd be my follower. Is that how I'd say it? Be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. Follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. And then you can find me at Instagram and Snapchat and also TikTok at Mike40YOB. Now, I don't do a lot of stuff I do stuff on Instagram, but not so much on Snapchat or TikTok. And that's got to change. I mean, I'll do it. We'll all do it. We're in it together, right? I mean, everything's falling apart. Let's fucking reach out to one another via TikTok. Let me get on there and do the flim flam for you. Follow me at all those places, please. TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat at Mike40YOB. Find me on there, please. I'd love it. Follow me if you would. Our good friend Ryan Dirks does all the web stuff for this show. Find him at Facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. Tell him he's great. And our buddy David Mex Hernandez does all of the music, the artwork for this show. Doing good things. I will tell you this. Go be his friend on Facebook. Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. Last week, you know what he did that he hasn't done ever? He put out a video of himself singing. Normally, you hear him singing here on the show. And it's usually how you can get your fix. But I think he's going to branch out a little more. He might be doing more videos of himself. And you get a peek into who he is. You see him perform. I was really happy. Like, I was like, come on, man. Like, he had texted me. We were texting back and forth. And I had then, because I woke up at like 4 in the afternoon. And then I went to Facebook and I saw it. And I even texted him back. I'm like, I'm just seeing Facebook. Don't talk to me. And then I was like, fuck yeah, dude, it's about fucking time. And then he's like, well, yeah, but what if people don't? And I'm like, dude, stop. You're fucking good. And so I'm proud of him. So if you become his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez and scroll down, you'll find that video and see him fucking tearing up a Bill Withers tune. In a tribute to the man we just recently lost, unfortunately. But Mex just fucking crushes it out of the park. And like I said, he does all the artwork for this show. You can go to his photos there. If you become his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez, go to his photos. You'll see all the artwork folders that he has, which are artwork he's done for the Jokers page, the Westside 86 Jokers, which is the fan club for this show. You can join if you'd like. I'd appreciate it. More of a friend club, more of a gang. And then you'll see the artwork that he gives me every week, the timelines for my page. He's just a jack of all trades. He does amazing work. He does really good stuff, and you want to be his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez so you can get a heads up on seeing artwork from the past and seeing anything he comes up with the future. And you can see his videos if he goes ahead and he does those. And also, he has a group called This Is Dumb, That's Dumb, You're Dumb, I'm Dumb. You can go ahead and join his group. And then when you join the group, he'll send you a note and he'll go, hey, you should answer these questions. And then you answer the questions, then you're in the group. And look at that. You're having fun with memes and everybody else. There's a fucking, I think there's some edamame that has a cute face and wears a bandana. And then there's, like I said, there's a toupee fridge and all those other fucking guys. They're all on the page. They're all getting it done. I think there's a Mogwai. There might be a Mogwai on the page. Is there a Mogwai? There's a chick who apparently wears a lot of gauzy blouses you can see through. It's great. You can go check it out. It's a real ass convention. So if you go to This Is Dumb, That's Dumb, I'm Dumb, You're Dumb, you can be a member and then you will see stuff and you can share your own memes and find stuff but get the feel for the page. Don't just come in and be like, ha ha, I'm the biggest swinging meme dick in town. And then everybody will be like, boo. Fit in. Come in and have a good time with everybody. We're all in this together. Don't come in and pretend you're the new fucking sheriff in town because you know what? That's a good way to get filled full of holes, baby. That's a good way to get Borgnine to blast you with a Gatling gun and Warren Oates to strike a fucking match off your dead man's boot. Excuse me. See, I'm, you might hate me. That's fine. I think I'm funny sometimes. All right. So go to Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. When you see his artwork and you think to yourself, God damn, this guy's talented. I want to hire him to do some artwork for me. And you know what? You can. Because you'll see the artwork he's done for the This Is Dumb group. You'll see the artwork he's done for my page. And he can do anything you need. He can do your Facebook caricature if you want. You know what? Our good friend Thomas Tate in Atlanta, I believe, uses it as his Facebook caricature to this day. A painting that our friend David did. And he can do paintings of you, your family, your friends, your dog, your whatever the fuck. And he can work in oils or watercolors, whatever you need. The man can do it. Like I said, you can see his artwork right there if you're his friend at Facebook.com/David Mex Hernandez. But I'll tell you what, you should also check out the man's website. Why? Because I think you should. Damn it. Go check out his website, see some of the artwork he has displayed on there. You'll just see, again, the guy you can't buttonhole him. I mean, he's all over the fucking place. The guy can do anything you ask, and you'll get different examples at Facebook and on the Joker's page and on his website, artbydmh.com. Go there today. That's artbydmh.com, artbydmh.com.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide, where I stop and I turn and I go for a ride, till I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you, don't you want me to love you? I'm coming down fast, but I'm miles above you. Tell me, come on, tell me the answer. Well, you may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Helter skelter, helter skelter, helter skelter.
Hey, let me ask you, what if you took some of that soft scrub, right? You hear about that soft scrub? What if you took that, you just rubbed it right into your gums, huh? You're fucking scrubbing it. What do you got to lose, huh? What about that Glade? You ever see that Glade air freshener they got? You plug it in the wall. What if you just crack that open and drink that Glade syrup? I'll bet that tastes piney and delicious. What do you got to lose? Oh, what a fucking mess. All right. Hey, you want to be Downy Fresh? Here's what you do. You take that April Fresh Downy, right? And you just fucking pour it right over your head. Just fucking eyes wide open. Let it get right in there in the sockets, and it'll clean you up good. What do you got to lose? Hey, hi. Do we have sponsors? We do. Still, shockingly enough, it's our good friend, the Fearful Jesuit, over at the Paranoid Strain. You might want to check out that show. It's fantastic. Go ahead and download it. Go ahead and subscribe to it right now. Hey, you hear about that Fearful Jesuit? Hey, what do you got to lose? Go ahead and download it. Subscribe to the show now. It's called The Paranoid Strain. It's the podcast available right now in the iTunes store. Our friend Fearful Jesuit is the host. You can leave a review in the iTunes store, talking about how wonderful the show is and mentioning that you heard about it from me. That would help me out tremendously. You can write him a note, theparanoidstrain@gmail.com, theparanoidstrain@gmail.com. Write our buddy. Tell him he's great. Tell him you love the show and tell him you heard about it through us. It makes me look like a hitter. And the guy's, he's done so many. Again, he's got format changes coming up now. He's done longer shows. He's done shorter shows. Right now, the newest episode that's on deck for you to listen to and is terrific. It's about the germ. We all know about the germ, the bug. You ever see the monkeys when they're holding the doomsday bug? The bug. Oh, the bug is right here. And actually, it's funny. Now that I think about it, that monkeys episode, they're monkey men. And it's Davy. I think Peter is being held captive by, believe it or not, some renegade Chinese, and then because they're looking to get the doomsday bug, and they think the monkeys have it, and then the monkeys dress up as monkey men, and then they have an insult off with the fucking Chinese guys. And Mike Nesmith tells this one Chinese guy, he's like, "You're ugly. Oh, so ugly. You're ugly, and no one will ever love you. No one, not even your mother, nobody." And the guy's like, "Oh, he's wounded. Oh," and then Davy Jones, the guy looks at Davy Jones and he goes, "You are too short." And Davy goes, "Huh?" And he goes, "You're too short and you have no ear for music." And Davy goes, "Oh, Mike, help me." So then they have to pretend they have the doomsday bug to save Mickey or whatever the fuck. And now that I think about it, so you know what? Basically, my point is the monkeys forecasted this entire coronavirus bullshit coming a million years ago. They knew it was happening. Fucking Nesmith and Jones and Torque and fucking Dolans, they knew. So my point is that our friend, Fearful Jesuit, with the Paranoid Strain podcast, get my bearings here. I'm a little thrown off by the doomsday bug. I won't lie. This revelation has me on my heels. I did not expect to crack this fucking corona case wide open right in front of God and everybody, but it happened. The Paranoid Strain podcast available now in the iTunes store. Go ahead and download it. What do you got to lose? And the newest one is about the germ, the bug, the thing that everybody's talking about. The bug. A bug is the word. Bug. I'm not gonna do that all day, am I? Fast forward, just get me out of here, please. The bug is the word. Bug. Nobody likes this show but me. All right, well, I'm glad if you're still here. Please download. That shit doesn't happen on the Paranoid Strain. See, go listen to that show. No one's ever gonna bust in any fucking surfing bug. It's not gonna happen. Doomsday bug ain't gonna get sung in your ears. You're not gonna have to hear a guy go. I'm going to do it again. No, I'm not. All right. Please. There's tons of silliness here. It's all silliness here, but over there, it's very serious over there in the Paranoid Strain, but it's wry as well. It's not just serious. It's wry. It takes a jaundiced look. It takes a wry eye to today's problems and all of the conspiracy bullshit that goes on out there. And he tears it asunder with his witticisms and his jackanapes. And you'll want to listen, man, because you don't download the show. Go subscribe right now and listen to the Paranoid Strain podcast with our great friend Fearful Jesuit, his sidekick Dana Unicorn, any number of experts who talk way too long, and then another guy who is breathing too heavily into the microphone. But I digress. Doesn't matter. Their facts are so brilliant and so interesting, you won't even care that it sounds like the guy just ate a bowl of minestrone and talked right into a microphone after it. Hey, so I'm lying. It doesn't happen that way. And that was like 10 episodes ago anyway. All right, so I actually made a note. I'm like, this minestrone mouth motherfucker. And then I went, don't say that. You're trying to get people to listen to this goddamn show because it's awesome. And then what happened? You listen to the show and you go, this show's awesome. And you don't even think about minestrone mouth. Okay. So please go ahead and download the Paranoid Strain podcast. Subscribe to it now in the iTunes store. Make it your best friend. It's my best friend People, let me tell you about my best friend. It's a one boy cuddly toy, my up, my down, my pride and joy. It's me and Paranoid Strain podcast, going ahead, holding hands, going through the park. And then Mrs. Livingston comes over and she makes us food. Oh, wait a minute. She's also a Chinese. Oh, no. She's a Chinese person. That is not good. Well, it's not, I mean, it's good for her. I'm glad. But with the current climate in this country, I hope she's not here. She'll just be heckled and yelled at. People are terrible. I just saw a story today that in Atlanta, they're putting up, like, someone's putting up, like, signs and it's Winnie the Pooh eating a bat with chopsticks. And I just, of course it is. Why wouldn't you do that, huh? But then also they went through all the trouble to make these things, and I guess they're hiding them in the city or whatever the fuck. I don't even know. I didn't even see the whole story. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and I was just like, all right, fine, good for you. It's like, I got somebody I know, and I'm not going to get into who, but they insist on pointing out that it's the Wuhan virus, and and they say it, they do it on purpose. So you'll say, hey, look, man, it's not that. And then they'll go, well, I believe, and that's all they want. That's all they want. They literally are just sitting there with a megaphone poised, ready. They're at a starting gun. They're just down in the fucking stance, waiting for you to come up and fucking shoot. Hey, you know what? It really isn't the Wuhan virus. And they just fucking sprint like Usain Bolt right at you to get their point across. Well, I believe that I can say whatever I want in this kind of... Shut the fuck up. You're embarrassing yourself and others. So, all right. So, hey, Paranoid Strain Podcast, they sponsor the show. I am glad they do. And they're super cool, and you should go ahead and download the podcast. Subscribe today. Leave a note in the iTunes store and write our boy a note, theparanoidstrain@gmail.com, and tell him you love the show. Because you do. Don't you? I think you do. Hey, I do a Twitch show every day, virtually every day. I won't be doing it this Sunday, but if you follow or subscribe to the channel, you'll know when I'm on. This week has been a really weird week. Like, we haven't played a game. We finished The Witcher last Saturday. And then I took Sunday off to watch the Bulls, which was fucking awesome. And then, since then, I've been running streams that have been about, I talk. It's just chat streams, and then I go shopping and try to buy a new game, which is totally fun. And I like it. I like talking to people. I call it the Yap Yap. Get the Yap Yap up top, have some yogurt. I enjoy my time with the fans or the friends or whoever the fuck shows up in the chat room. New people have been coming every day, which is pretty cool, and subscribing. That makes me happy. So why don't you be one of those as well? Go to twitch.tv/the40year-old-boy. And, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Jesus fucking Christ. You can Google Twitch and the 40-year-old boy, but I'm pretty sure it's twitch.tv/the40year-old-boy, right? I believe so. Yeah, it's got to be. All right, so ignore me. Go right now to Twitch. You can subscribe. Now, I'll tell you what, if you're an Amazon Prime person, you can actually subscribe, and it gets me $5 if you use your Amazon Prime Twitch subscription. That really helps because Amazon's a bit of a coin flip these days, but that would really, like any little bit helps. So if you subscribe to the channel, that's pretty cool. Follow the channel, then you'll know when I'm on. You can come and hang out, talk in the chat stream with people, watch me play games, watch me do the chat, the Yap Yap, and eat yogurt and have fun and make jokes. And you know what's funny is I have a friend, a new guy named Vince, who came and he hung out, and then he fucking, get this, dude. So I talked for like 90 minutes the other day, and in my brain I'm like, there's a lot of funny here. Like, I wish I had this and I could share it with people from the podcast world. And he wrote me, and he fucking leaped right into action. He's like, you got to download the video, then you got to extract the audio, you got to do it. And I'm just like, oh, whoa, hold on, dude. Again, Vince, you're lovely, but I talk. That's it. Pushing buttons and doing this, extract the audio. What the fuck am I? You know what I mean? I'm not fucking Hawkeye Pierce. I mean, I'm not going to cut anything open and pull out some fucking audio. I said, well, I'm willing to learn it, so I downloaded the video to my desktop, and then I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll figure it out, whatever. And then he wrote me, and he's like, hey man, I did it all. I'm like, what? So unbelievably, he was very nice. He extracted the sound file. I haven't downloaded it yet because he's gonna hear this and be like, "Hey man, you haven't even read the mail yet." I know, but you in the chat room you told me you did it, so I'm assuming you did it right or you did it well, which is great. So thank you, Vince, for thinking of me. But anyway, if you go to twitch.tv/the40year-old-boy, you watch me play games, you watch me talk. It's almost like having, get this, brace yourselves, and I don't know if you even want this. It's almost like having a podcast every single day. But you get to see me talk, which has got to be freaky as fuck. You actually get to see my face, which nobody wants that, but it exists. So why not? Twitch.tv/the 40-year-old boy. Join the fucking thing now, man. Be a part of it. Be a part of our crew over there at basically what is my television station, twitch.tv/the 40-year-old boy. Jump on board. We watch movie trailers. We fucking watch game trailers. We play games. We talk. I eat vegetables. Sometimes I eat, sometimes we get, look, I will warn you, occasionally I will have to take a phone call on the air. That does happen, but just be prepared for it. That's been happening all week. I've been getting calls all week, shockingly enough. So yeah, we got the Twitch thing every day. That's pretty great. Check that out. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go to the merchandise page. And there's an Amazon link on there. It used to be the Joe Business page. Click on the Amazon link. And then, hey, you're shopping, and it doesn't cost you anything. It costs you 10 seconds to find the link. Go to my website, click on merchandise. There's the Amazon link. Click on that. And now you're shopping. Anything you buy, then I get a tiny, tiny percentage that shrunk last week. Actually, I think I told you they cut basically everything in half. So, it's cool if you would continue to think of me and still use the Amazon link. And also just, if you use it frequently, that would be even better. If you use it at work, whatever the fuck, think about using the link because it helps me out and it keeps me afloat. And as I've said, if you've ever thought about supporting the show, this is a good time to do it. You can step up and do something like on the Twitch channel. You can either give bits on there or you can subscribe for an Amazon Twitch Prime subscription. It's $5 a month. You got to renew it every month though. And also when you're at MikeSchmidtComedy.com, you get, like I said, you go to the merchandise page and there's the Amazon link. But also if you want to just donate to the show, in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little Schmitty with his pocket out and it says donate. You can click on that and send a PayPal donation to the show. I thank you for thinking of me, everybody who has stepped up and done anything like that. And there's also a Patreon page, patreon.com/Mike the 40-year-old boy, I believe. If you just Google Patreon Mike Schmidt 40-year-old boy, you'll find it and you can become a patron and it would really help me out. And I actually thought about, I was like, well, we should, whatever the fuck. You don't want to hear what I thought about. But the point is the Patreon page really helps this show as well. Thank you so much for thinking of me. And let's talk about some people who have really stepped up this week and helped me out. Have I covered everything? I have. Paranoid Strain. I'm going to plug my buddy Rock Solid. I'm going to plug my buddy Pat. You can find, I did the Southern Fried Rock episode. I've done the Motley Crue episode, the Black Crowes episode. I did a Van Halen episode. With Siegel, we did, I forget what episode we did. The Yacht Rock. Whatever. It was totally fun. So Pat works his fucking ass off. So if you want to subscribe to that podcast too and listen to it, that'd be great. And you can find the episodes with me. I think I'm listed in the credits, so you'll find me and download those and listen to it. They're fun. It's amazing. It's just basically me sitting around with two fucking friends, Pat and Mike, and laughing our balls off. So it's really cool. So do that. Check that out because we're all looking for content. Why not fill your days and nights with me? That seems to make sense, right? So, hey, also, if you want to book me for Cameo, let's talk about that because we've talked about Amazon, we talked about Patreon, we talked about Twitch. Let's talk about Cameo. I do phone calls for people. You can hire me, and I will call you up and tell you you're great. I'll call you up and tell you you're a dick. I'll wish somebody a happy birthday. I'll wish somebody a happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. I'll do that. If you want me, because I will tell you this, I was just hired recently by my friend Barry, and he's like, dude, look, I am in quarantine with my wife Mary. Can you talk her out of killing me because we're right on top of one another all the time? And Barry and Mary are great friends. They have come out to Podfest. I hung out with them before. I've had dinner with them many times, and many times seem strong, but a couple times. And they're just really cool. And for him to think of me was so cool. And then I'm just going to say it. I get $15 for each of the cameos. I get, it's 20. 5 goes to Cameo, 15 to me. But, and then he tipped me on top of it, which he didn't have to do. But Barry, you're so fucking cool. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Thank you for thinking of me at all, for even hiring me for the Cameo. But you guys can hire me as well. So if you want to do that, book me for whatever you need me to do. I can call you. I can harass you. I can tell you I love you. We can talk fucking NFL draft, whatever the fuck you want. Whatever nonsense you need from me to get me $15 fucking dollars, I'm ready to do it. Just ask our friend Barry, who had me tell his wife Mary not to kill him. That's I can do that too. I can be very persuasive when I want to be. So yeah, book me for a Cameo, Patreon, Twitch, Cameo, Amazon link. All of that stuff is a way to support the show. And getting back to the people who did support, like I said, Vince made that sound file for me, which he did not have to do, and that was super cool. Thank you so much, man. Our buddy Jeremy. You may remember I did a show at the end of year 11, and it was with the co-CEOs of Emerald Alawadi LLC. I always tease that Ahmad and Jeremy run this show. They're basically the guys, they're my bosses. And Jeremy, because he did this, he was in the chat stream. He's in the chat stream all the time. He drives the hype train. He's fucking cool as hell. And he reached out and he asked me a trivia question. He goes, "Hey, Mike, who's the manager of the Colorado Rockies?" And I was like, he just asked it. And I was like, he said, I'll give you $50 if you know who it is. And I was like, well, I know last year it was Bud Black, but I think they fired him. I don't know who the new guy would be, but I'll just guess Bud Black. And he's like, you just won $50. And I'm like, yeah. And then he wrote me, he's like, where do you want me to send it? Venmo? And I go, you don't have to send me that money. Are you fucking kidding me? You've done everything you possibly could for this fucking show. Every day he's giving out gift subscriptions. He's fucking hanging out. The only reason I'm on Twitch is because of him, because he came through with the gear. I mean, he's done an amazing job of supporting me. So I'm like, dude, I don't need the $50. You're cool to think of me, but please, you don't have to give me another fucking dime. Although please give me a dime. And then he's like, all right, cool. And then he asked for my Steam name. Like there's a gaming thing called Steam. And I wrote him and I go, I said, I don't know on this. Oh, actually I didn't write him. I told him in the stream, I go, I don't know. I looked at my Steam name. I think it's Mike40YOB, just like everything else. He goes, well, I looked for it. I couldn't find you. I said, I don't know. I'll look after the stream. So then he wrote me, he goes, if you don't find the name, it's going to make it very difficult for me to gift you the out of the park baseball game you were talking about. And I was like, whoa, what? And he goes, yeah, I want to give it to you as a gift. I go, you don't have to do that. He goes, I know, but I really want to. I know you love baseball and I know you're missing it. So this would be something really cool for you to have. And I was like, all right. I go, so I went to Steam and I was like, all right, I guess I don't have a profile, whatever. I went through it. And then I said, look, I'm now on Steam. You can find my profile. I go, but you do not have to do this. And it didn't matter. By the time I was even saying that, it showed up in my fucking mailbox and just unbelievably thoughtful and super cool. And Jeremy, thank you so much. So thank you for thinking of me. Just like I said, Vince making a sound file rip for me, Barry thinking of me for a cameo, and then tipping on top of the fucking cameo. Our good friend Michelle reached out via Venmo, and she's, because I used to, when she would visit here, she was coming here like once a month for work, and she and I would go out and we had this Indian restaurant called Argo Blarg that we liked, and we would go there, and she's like, go get some Argo Blarg for us. She goes, support it because it's got to be open the next time I come to LA, otherwise what are we going to do? And I'm like, man, you're too nice. So she sent me some money for Argo Blarg, which was crazy nice. Like I said already, John Conway sending me a face mask. He didn't have to do that. Our buddy Jose, fucking Jose Zaragoza, this dude bought Schmidt Alive 2. Now, I will tell you this, he bought this a week ago, and Jose, if you're listening, I haven't written it yet because, God forbid, why would I do that? I can't find it on my computer. It was a video and audio package, and I found Stop Making Schmidt, which I think was the next year's one, but I cannot for the life of me find Schmidt Alive 2. If any of you out there have Schmidt Alive 2, can you write me and remind me which one it is? Because I thought, when I looked at Stop Making Schmidt, I'm like, wait a minute, that's what I thought Schmidt Alive 2 was. But this is the craziest thing. Like, I looked for Podfests in my iTunes. I looked for Schmidt Alive 2. I looked for it in Dropbox. I don't fucking have it. And I'm going to have to look at my other laptop and try to find it there. But last night I was searching all over my laptop and trying to go on the fucking hard drive, whatever the fuck. So, Jose, thank you for thinking of me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you Stop Making Schmidt anyway. And then when I find Schmidt Alive 2, I will send that along as well. But thank you. You didn't have to do that. And so you're going to get 2 for the price of 1 because you're fucking cool. But if anybody has Schmidt Alive 2, can you just remind me what story I told? Like, I don't remember which Podfest that was. So let me know. That'd be kind of cool if you could. And also, I mentioned Patreon. Well, there are 2 Patreon subscribers who reached out and bumped up their subscriptions. Like our buddy Seth, I'm going to say Brazil. Or Braziel. I've never, look, I don't want to say his name the right way. I think it's Brazil. Our buddy Seth, who, he's, I've been to dinner with him and his wife Tracy and their daughter Harper. I shouldn't say her fucking name. Jesus Christ. But then again, I've used her photo before too, so I guess I'm just revealing all secrets. Seth has come to see me in San Francisco. He's the one who got me the Mike Schmidt jersey, and he got me a signed Mike Schmidt baseball. I mean, he's just fucking incredible. And he bumped up his Patreon. And also, Seth he works in a hospital. He's a first responder. I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just glad he's safe, man. Because Tracy's been home with Harper by herself, and I just want everybody to be safe and happy and healthy. Don't fucking, again, you're a hero, but you don't have to be a hero, I guess is my point. So he bumped up his Patreon, which is ridiculous at a time that he's doing everything he can, giving. He's some gave all. Well, one of those some is our buddy Seth, and for him to bump up his Patreon is just way too nice. Thank you for thinking of me, dude. And also our buddy Anthony Dunker, down on the corner. No, he's down in Australia. Our buddy Anthony, I believe he might be in America now. But is he in New York now? Because Tony, I think you're here. Are you here? Are you in whatever the fuck? Who cares? He bumped up his Patreon as well, and again, I can't thank him enough. He doesn't, because also he was given a pretty good amount already, and then he bumped it up even higher. And just, you're so amazing and so nice to think of me, all of you, Jose, Jeremy, Seth, Anthony, John, Michelle, Vince, Barry, anybody who reached out, anybody who helps, because it makes me happy and it keeps this afloat. That's the most important thing. Look, I'm happy, fuck yeah. But more importantly, you're making sure that I can still do this. And then look, I'll always do this, but you're making sure anything you've ever given me has taken away 1 second of worry. If you've even taken 1 second of worry off the table, you've done a tremendous thing for me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And Anthony, bumping that up on Patreon, Seth, you guys, super cool. Especially because I know I've neglected the Patreon in some ways, and for you to still think of me and include me and want to help, it makes me incredibly happy. Thank you all for reaching out. And now I've got to go because look, it's Friday morning. I've got to go. I'm sure there's a puppet show I've got to watch on Facebook. Everybody, again, as we've talked about, everybody's out there. But I will ask you this. There's people on Instagram I watch now cook. Like yesterday I watched Jada. Oh, she made pasta. Oh, it was delightful. Watched her for 15 minutes making pasta in her house. It's like kitchen porn because there's just fucking countertops and big bowls and glorious pots. And oh my God, it's so fucking awesome. So, I watched that, and it's beautiful, but also I find myself, obviously the screens are on even more because you don't know what the fuck to do. And I was on Facebook, dude. How do they pick your Facebook ads? Like, they target ads at you because there are all these Facebook ads, whatever the fuck. Well, dudes, I'm starting to get ads that are freaking me out. Like, I don't know if they're listening to me or they're just guessing, but I mean, look, they're right on the money. I mean, these are cool things I like looking at, but there was an ad for leggings, and it was just a woman. Basically, she was naked. Like she was naked. It's just all she had on was these like sheer leggings from the waist down, and she's walking in them. So it's like just a full on shot of her backyard as she's walking, and you get fucking thigh gap, the whole fucking thing. And I'm like, whoa, dude. And look, I'm not a leggings guy. I'm not in the fucking market. But I'll tell you what, if you're going to come through with a few more ads like that, I might plunk down some leggings coin. I don't know. And it made me wonder, like, how did Facebook find out that I'm this guy? Like, well, and maybe we're all ass guys. I don't fucking know. Or maybe because Mex keeps running contests where he keeps putting up asses from his action figures, and maybe they thought because I voted in that or whatever the fuck, like I count. But the ad, I saw the girl, and so then there's something. You heard of this company called Wish? I don't know who the fuck Wish is, but I do know that apparently they sell fucking dildos and corsets and fucking thongs because that's all my ads are. It's like this. There's this fucking chick. She had a see-through camisole on. You could see her fucking nipples, and she's jumping up and down too on top of all of it. You know what I mean? And she's spinning around. There's a girl in a corset with like a riding crop, and look, look. I'm not fucking Steve Cawthon, all right? I don't need you to be fucking whipping my ass, but at the same time, it's not anything I've ruled out, and we'll see, and it's it's case by case basis. If a woman's into it, fine, let's do it. Bring on the reins and the bit, put them in my mouth and ride me around. That's fucking fine. But I don't know why Facebook has decided that they need to advertise a fucking sexy hot riding crop to me. What did I do to trigger that? What made them think to themselves, oh yeah, this is the kind of guy that wants to get fucking smacked in the ass by a fucking chick?
If there's anything I like more than me, it's people who like me. I love me, but if you love me, I love you. 'Cause you know why, we both love me. How great am I? Let's talk about that for a while, and by a while, I mean forever.
Charlie Doe Podcast.